Once again, good evening. Welcome to Rensselaer and Houston Fieldhouse for tonight's ECAC matchup. Tonight, the Big Green of Dartmouth and your engineers of RPI. And now let's meet tonight's starting lineups. First, the visitors from Dartmouth College, starting in the goal, number 35, James Kruger. On defense, number 27, Brandon Kirk. And number 24, Andy Simpson. The starting forwards for Dartmouth, and left wing, number 15, Brandon McNally. At center for the Big Green, number 9, Troy Clemma. And at right wing, number 8, Tim O'Brien. The rest of the Dartmouth College Big Green, their head coach is Bob Godet. And now, let's meet the starting lineup for the engineers of RPI. Leading your engineers on the ice tonight, the junior engineer Cam Gagnon. Starting in the goal, he's a junior from Buffalo, New York. Number 34, Scott DeVoe. At defense, a senior from West Palm Beach, Florida. Number 3, Dean LaBeouf. On defense, a junior from Mebane, Ontario. Number 10, Curtis Leonard. The starting quarter line for the Engineers at left wing. A senior from Kingston, Ontario, number 23, Brock Higgs. At center, a sophomore from New Hartford, New York, number 19, Mike Zaleski. And at right wing, a junior from Sanford, Connecticut, number 39, Ryan Haggerty. The rest of the Engineers, their head coach is Seth Efford. Assistant coaches are Brian Vines, Nolan Graham, and Kirk McDonald. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we direct your attention to center ice for a special ceremony. National Grid Foundation has joined Rensselaer in launching Shoot for the Stars, a new program designed to motivate elementary school students by rewarding them with tickets to Rensselaer men's or women's hockey games. Joining us at center ice are student achievers from School 16 in Troy, and Bob Geller, President of National Grid Foundation, Athletic Director Jim Knowlton, and Kathy Thibodeau, Rensselaer County Executive, along with Matt Tenorti, RPI Hockey Captain, and Tyler Segura, Dartmouth Hockey Captain. Thank you and congratulations to the student achievers. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise as the RPI Pen Band will play the national anthem of Canada. And now, Warren Silverstein will sing the national anthem of the United States of America.
Troy. Coverage of RPI Engineers men's hockey here from the Houston Fieldhouse at the Garen, along with Perry Lascaris, bringing you all the action on the radio over the airwaves. So before we get started with the first period of play, we'd like to thank the Rensselaer Union, which provides the funding for WRPI and all club-related activity of the Institute, including WRPI's coverage of RPI men's and women's hockey, football, and baseball. Also, I'd like to remind you, WRPI is on the World Wide Web. Point your browser to www.wrpi.org. And you can hear our broadcast 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So long as WRPI is broadcasting, we're proud to broadcast on our internet feed. Once again, it is www.wrpi.org. Also, WRPI is seeking current RPI students to make live calls of games, such as this one between RPI and Dartmouth. There are opportunities this season to get on the air for men's and women's ice hockey, and later on in the year for baseball if you so choose. If interested, please send us an email at wrpi-sports@rpi.edu.
RPI and Dartmouth getting set to drop the puck here. Engineers with a win can pull as high as 6th in the league to be tied with Yale, number 10th ranked team in the country. Dartmouth sitting in last place now with 5 points. Could jump Princeton and St. Lawrence potentially with a win tonight. Forest green all around with some white trim for the Dartmouth uniform. RPI in their home whites with black and red and black, trim, red helmets for the Engineers, red pants. Dartmouth gets the puck deep, and there's an early offside call just 9 seconds in. Headed into the Engineers' end, we'll have a stoppage in play.
Rundown lines for you for RPI. Mike Zaleski centers Brock Higgs, Ryan Haggerty, Milos Bubela with Jacob LaLiberte and Matt Neal. Mark Miller with Jake Wood and Zach Schrader to his wings. And Matt Tenorti, the captain, with Johnny Rodgick and Jimmy DeVito from left to right.
Troy Crema on the draw for Dartmouth, and Mike Zaleski, who Coach Appert talked about starting at center of that top line. He's replaced by Higgs as he's tossed. That's the luxury, I guess, for the Engineers, having two centermen on that top line as Higgs wins the draw cleanly back. RPI will flip it into Dartmouth territory, where the Big Green will control. Simpson off the near boards, out to center, gloved on a dump into try. Brandon Kirk up the far wall, center ice picked up and moved into the zone. Here's Crema, top of the circle, shot was blocked. Rebound Karam's free to the top of the zone, where it's picked up by Zaleski. He skates back the other way all by himself, 1-on-3. Has a couple teammates trailing. Zaleski all the way to the net, save made on the pad by Kruger. Now in the far corner, Matt Neal just off the bench. There's some help from Higgs, who's still out there. They tie up far corner, Dartmouth zone. Trying to dig through the legs of Bly of Dartmouth. Now it comes free to the near half wall, kept in point Bradley. Fake to pass to the point, takes a shot that was blocked by a stick. Goes behind to the near corner. Nick Lovejoy up the near wall, backhand pass neatly to Bly. They'll move it out to center. Far side center ice, McNally. Centering pass blocked away by the senior Bo Dolan. Feeds it center ice for LaLiberte. He'll spin around his own zone near circle. Cross ice pass blocked down, but kept by the Engineers. Dolan crosses center, dumps in. It'll ring around to the near corner. Bolts the first one there for Dartmouth. LaLiberte has him pinched up, keeps it deep. Rolled behind, far side, gets past Hartley to the far corner. Bella will cycle further, or on back to the near corner it goes. Bolt there for Dartmouth, can't get it out of the zone. Kept in by LaLiberte, who takes a hit from Bly before going off. Schrader can't get on the end of that one. It's shot far side. Dartmouth will move it out to center ice. Josh Hartley, near side pass connects. Shot, save made by Diebold. Rebound comes free to the far circle, and the try by Shearhorn. Kept in at the far point by Dartmouth. That's Opperman. Engineers control. Through center comes Luke Karate. The junior will flip it into the far corner. Comes down there. Beamish for Dartmouth. Into the zone is Barry. And we have an offside whistle there as Beamish was out ahead of the play.
Yeah, just topped out of the zone by an RPI defender who had the angle in the Dartmouth zone and just knocked it out of the RPI zone to result in the offside. 17:52 left in the first, no score.
Barry nearly picked Tenorti's pocket. The senior captain for RPI gets back on it. Tapped up the wall, controlled by Mosey, back to the defenseman Kirk. Far side, now center looking for Mosey down the middle. Pass too far out in front of him. That'll be icing as the Buff wins the race down the ice. Another stoppage here. Just about 2.5 minutes in, no score here. RPI and Dartmouth from the Fieldhouse. Defensive
pairing for RPI, Guy LaBeouf with Curtis Leonard, Chris Bradley with Bo Dolan, Luke Karate with Craig Bokenfor, and Scott Diebold in net for the for Engineers rather. For Dartmouth, it's Troy Creamer, Brandon McNally, and Tim O'Brien on the wings.
Face-off, pushed back to the point. Nice pickup by LaBeouf. Goes down on both knees, but does keep it alive into the behind the cage. Still behind that. Zaleski trying to dig it free. He's tied up now with Simpson. Trying to dig it loose is Higgs. He'll throw it back behind the net for Haggerty. Loose out in front. And it goes right back behind. Haggerty will pick it up there. Haggerty sets up behind the cage. Centering pass looking for Zaleski. Hit him in the skate. Tries to kick it to himself and lost the handle. Now Haggerty puts his man Beamish into the wall far side. Shot all the way down. This will come on goal. That'll allow Dartmouth to change. Would have been another icing for that group. So a little bit of a bullet dodge there for the Big Green. Swept into the RPI zone. That time by Connor Dempsey. Going behind the net was Leonard to Bubella. Cross ice pass near side for Higgs. Flipped into the Dartmouth zone. They wave off the icing. It was deflected. Picked up behind the net. Ferguson spinning it back near side half wall. Now shot in the air. Glove down at center. Carried along by Dempsey. He fires one on goal. It's sticked into the corner by Diebold. Tie up far side. Good hit by Bradley. Works the puck free. Looking ahead, trying to get it to Bubella, or Dolan rather. And now Neal. Touch pass back to his own zone. Nobody home. Bullock picks it up for Dartmouth. He'll take a slapper. That hits the stick and goes up into the netting. We'll get a stoppage. 16:25 to go first period. No score.
Finishing the lines, Nick Bly centers Brad Shearhorn and Grant Opperman. Charlie Mosey centers Jesse Beamish and Jack Barr. And from left to right, Connor Dempsey, Kyle Nicholson, and Ryan Bullock. Defensive pairings Brandon Kirk, Andy Simpson. Taylor Bolt, Josh Hartley, Jeff Ferguson, and Nick Lovejoy. And the goaltender is James Kruger, the sophomore from your home state of Minnesota, Perry. 16:25 left to play the first, no score.
Rep Kruger from Minnetonka. His father played tennis at Gustavus Adolphus. If you're from the Minnesota area, you'll know what that is. Small D3 school outside the Twin Cities. It's worked up the far wall to Jimmy DeVito. Cross ice pass near side for Tenorti, too far out in front of him. Tenorti tries to tie up with Bolt. He works it free. Comes loose to Rajic. He lost the handle. Now Bolt will skate far side out of his own end. Good forecheck by DeVito. Breaks it up for the time being as they can't get it out of the zone. Now spinning around center ice is Troy Crema. Crema backhands it near side pass a bit behind the intended target, but O'Brien carries in. He'll throw it off the back wall. Bokenfor trying to track it down for RPI. Puts a hit into his man far side. That's McNally, but they keep it in at the point. Simpson, he'll try to walk in. Far side corner. Poked off his stick. Picked up again by McNally. He's tied up now by Karate. Picked up Rajic. Off the glass and out to center. Bouncing puck. This should be icing on RPI. They'll get the whistle. And we'll get a stoppage. 15:37 to go. First period. No score. RPI and Dartmouth.
Yeah, a good job by that fourth line. That's Tenorti, DeVito, and Rajic for RPI. Trying to keep the puck in with the forecheck and just grinding and trying to get that goal. Shots 2-1 in favor of Dartmouth. 15:37 left to play in the first. No score.
Face off to the right of the junior netminder, Scott Diebold, out of Buffalo, New York. 7-9-4 record, 263 goals against, 909 save percentage for him. Shot from the point. Didn't see it all the way. He blocked it with the chest, and it caroms all the way to the near point. Engineers will move it out to center. Shoot it all the way down again. I believe this is icing again. It is. And so they'll have to do it all over again back in the RPI end of the ice.
A lot of the problems for RPI, yeah, they have their problems, but you know, some fans want to try to blame Scott Diebold in net for RPI, but you know, when you get sort of thrown into the fire, Jason Kasdorf expected to be the starter. He was out early, so Diebold had to pretty much basically by himself carry the load.
Shot from the far point by Kirk. comes free to the near side. Tight angle shot. Looked like it was stopped there on the try by Opperman. Diebold was in the right position there. Near side Simpson at the point. Trying to flip it towards the net. It was blocked by Tenorti. Gives a chop at it. Puck left the zone. Dartmouth shoots it back in. 3 players have to touch up. They do. Craig Bokenfour making his 2nd appearance of the year. 7th of his career. Touch pass through. Looking for Schrader. Trying to walk in front. Shot! And it deflects away. Good save there by Kruger. I lost sight of it for a second. And it carried him free out to center. Now Bly trying to get by LaBeouf. Centering pass was behind Shearhorn. That'll send the Engineers back the other way. 3-on-3 to the line. It's Wood. Top of the circle. Shot deflects and goes behind the net. Sliding into the back wall is Miller. Puck comes free. Schrader bottles it up along the near side boards. To Miller down low. Trying to dig it free. Knocked away. Now kept in at the point by LaBeouf. That shot hits a shin pad. That was Bly. All the way out to center. Picked up by the junior Curtis Leonard. Outlet pass touched in deep by Wood. RPI will get a change. Shots 3-2 Dartmouth early on. We're about 5.5 in here. Still no score. Nick Lovejoy, the senior out of Oxford, New Hampshire, will set up behind his own net. It's tapped back out to center. Now Barry 2-on-2 to the RPI line. They're offside, and he touches the puck anyway. Didn't see his line mate out ahead of him, that being Beamish.
Well, a good scoring opportunity for RPI. Slow-moving puck. Schrader was showing the speed, and he beats the defender to it, and a good save by Kruger in net for Dartmouth. 14-11 left to play first, no score.
Bradley, D-to-D to Dolan. Near side center ice Higgs. Filtered ahead for Zaleski. Couldn't handle the pass. It's shot back out to center. Controlled there by Bradley. He's tied up by Barry. Barry and Bradley going at it right in front of the RPI bench. Puck comes back into RPI territory momentarily, where it's picked up by Zaleski. Sophomore out of New Hartford, New York. Works at far side for Haggerty. Centering pass intercepted. Good stick work there to work it free by Barry. Shot back into the RPI zone. Slowed up by Diebold. Leaves it for Bradley. Bradley to center ice. Stick handles across the center ice logo. Moving in to the slot. Shot deflects over the top of the net. Flops down off the dasher behind the Dartmouth goal. Around to the near side. Digging away is Zaleski. Battling there with Ryan Bullock. Puck comes loose to the front of the net for a second. Then back behind. Working it to the far side is Hartley. Intercepted by Haggerty. Gets it back. Shot save. Actually went off the base of the net on the feed from Zaleski to Haggerty. Now still behind that. There's 3 Engineers back there. Higgs trying to work it loose. Comes free to the near corner. Shot the near wall by Bolt. Kept in Karate. Shot deflects in front. That was Higgs who got his stick on it, but it went wide. Now a whistle here. The net came off. Haggerty just ran into it. I'm not sure if he was aided or not. We'll get a stoppage in play. 13:04 first period. Score 0-0. Shots are 3-3.
Yeah, Haggerty just trying to make a good play, and his skate hit the net. But one of the keys for RPI is, and maybe Coach Abbott told them this, maybe not, they don't have to win pretty. If they want to win, it has to be an ugly win. You have to get that confidence back. You have to keep putting the pucks on net and force Dartmouth into a mistake. 13:04 left to play in the first, no score.
Engineers picking up a 7-1 win over Dartmouth earlier this year up in Hanover. This shot from center ice is going to be gloved by Kruger. Easily saw it all the way. Now it'll be picked up far side of the Dartmouth zone. Trying to break out. Engineers with a good aggressive forecheck going on. Finally work near side to Simpson. Out to center ice. Picked up by O'Brien. He tries to walk into the zone, but Crema is offside. We get a whistle. Crema trying to get back on side, but he couldn't get that leg down in time.
Yeah, almost preventing a 2-on-1 for Dartmouth. A fast-breaking 2-on-1 and a fast-developing 2-on-1. RPI was going to be hard-pressed to get back there, play defense, but fortunately for them, Kremer couldn't get back on sides in time. So 12:42 left to play in the first, no score, RPI Dartmouth.
Face off just outside the RPI zone, near side. Kremer wins the draw. Swept into the RPI zone, they control. LaBeouf, far side for Leonard. Now the Liberté, neutral zone to the blue line, now into the zone. Intercepted on the pass, that's Lovejoy, shoots it back out to center. Backhanded back by Bobello. Loose in the zone, Neal's got some room to work far side. Picks it up in the circle. Centering pass comes off the blocker of Kruger to the near side corner. Now to the point, LaBeouf, a shot. That one's tipped in the air. Another try by Liberté goes wide. It's picked up in the far side corner. Off the far wall for Leonard. Near side, LaBeouf takes a wrister. That one's seen all the way and held by Kruger. May have been headed wide, but he holds on to it anyway.
See that, and that's what RPI has to do. Get bodies in front of the net, send the puck in on goal, get the deflection, maybe a bad rebound by Kruger, and that one almost resulting in the goal and a follow-up offensive chance by the Engineers, making Kruger work for every save. 12:07 left to play in the first, no score.
Face off to Kruger's right. Rogic on the draw up against Nick Bly. Bly out of Milton, Mass. Engineers win it. DeVito spins around to the hash marks and dumps it in. Picked up again now by Hartley. Hartley looks up ice, flips it near side off the boards. Touch pass ahead for Shearhorn. Shearhorn trying to walk in. Good back check by Roger to break it up. Then he runs his man out of the zone. Puck stays in, however. Karate puts, looks like Opperman into the boards over there. And now Karate comes away with a puck. Luke Karate near side for Tenorti. Into Dartmouth territory. He'll work it down low to the corner. Stops there, lost an edge and goes down. Still battling for the puck. It's flipped towards the near side. We're going to get a penalty here and a cross check. Looks like it's on Dartmouth as Opperman touched the puck. Engineers will go on the power play for the first time here tonight.
11:36 left to play in the first. No score, RPI Dartmouth. It is indeed a cross-check against the Big Green as Perry, Nick Bly goes into the box. Could have been an either or. They chose Bly, but I did like what I saw from RPI. Luke Karate, after he made the pass, immediately went right to the front of the net. Huge body for the Engineers getting in front of the net. Good job. 11:36 left to play in the first. No score.
Haggerty off the draw. Takes a wrister. That one's blocked. Rebound Higgs. Shot saved by Kruger. It's under his right leg, and there it is. As he flips that leg over and finds the puck there. Good chance off the faceoff. That's exactly the play the Engineers were looking for. Haggerty is shot through traffic from the high slot area. Wasn't able to convert.
But also credit to the Big Green defense getting just in time to get enough of Higgs' stick, so he couldn't get enough on that shot.
Defensive zone win for the Big Green. They shoot it all the way down. Stopped there by Diebold. RPI's power play, 20th in the country, 20.2%. The Big Green on the kill. They're the 5th worst penalty killing unit in college hockey out of the 59 schools. They're at just 75% on the year. Shoot it around to the far point where it's picked up by La Liberté. To the circle for Neal. High slot Zaleski. Near side Haggerty. Shot was blocked by a skate. It hit Simpson. Picked up far corner by the Engineers. Neal gets it back from the Liberté at the hash marks. Near side Haggerty. One-timer blocked. It kind of handcuffed him a bit. Still got a good shot away. But it was blocked by the defense. As that time Jack Barry got in the way. Shot down by the Big Green. Stopped by Diebold. Another minute 10 to go on. The Engineers man advantage. Has already had a couple chances already. 10:40 to go. First period. No score. Zaleski drops it back for Neal. Shooting it far side. Leonard into the zone. He'll carry into the corner. Tries to slide it back for Higgs. He ties his man up. Zaleski fakes a shot. Near side Haggerty. A drive, and that one's wide. Maybe got a piece of Kruger, but it looked like it was headed wide all the way. As he's looking to catch Kruger going across that crease. Looked like it was a high rising shot that missed the net. Wood will pick up the puck behind his own net. With 40 seconds to go on the Engineers' first man advantage of the evening. Skated ahead by Bradley. Far side for Leonard. Into the zone for Tenorti. Tenorti stops at the far side hash marks. Looks around. Near side. Nice saucer pass for Bradley. To the circle near side for Wood. Back to Bradley. Bradley up top. Now back to Wood. Down low. McGowan. Or excuse me, make it DeVito rather. And now back to the point for Bradley. Bradley for Wood at the point as they trade places. Down low for DeVito. Lost the handle for a second. Tenorti a blast right into the stomach of Kruger. He holds on.
Yeah, DeVito lost the handle of the puck, and fortunately for him, Tenorti was right there to pick it up and put a shot in on Kruger, who made the save. 9 seconds remaining in the Big Green penalty, but a big drive by Ryan Haggerty. He just puts it high. 9:44 left to play in the first. No score here from the field house between RPI and Dartmouth.
Face-off one back towards the point. Bradley thought about stepping into one. He lays off and just passes it off for Wood. Touch pass to the middle. Shot save. Rebound pops free to the slot. Spinning puck is knocked towards the far side point for Wood. We're back to 5 aside. Shot by Wood. Nearly caught Kruger off guard, but it went wide anyway. Long outlet pass broken up for a second by Wood, but carried on by the Big Green. Into the zone on the backhand is Kyle Nickerson. They'll go behind the net. Craig Bokenfour up the far boards for DeVito. Cross ice pass near side. Too far out in front of the intended target, but Leonard gets on it and dumps it in. Kruger can't stop a bouncing puck behind his own net into the far corner. Hit thrown there by Miller on Kirk. Comes around to the near side. Dartmouth has time to look up ice, and they do. Pass out in front of the intended target. Nickerson, all the way down it goes, but he did get a piece of it to avoid the icing. Around to the near side corner. Ryan Bullock. Tie for the team lead in assists with 7. The sophomore digs away in that corner with Karate. Comes free towards the point. Shot way wide. Just looking to get into the zone that time was Lovejoy. Engineers pick it off and shoot it out to center. Bouncing puck. Helped on by Rogic. Got a favorable bounce there. He kicks it to himself behind the net. Poked free by Lovejoy. Flip to the near side corner. Tap to the point. Dolan fakes the shot. Some room over there. Far side for Bokenfour. He'll drive one that goes wide. Picked up in this near side by Dolan, who's down low. behind the net for Zaleski, shielding away from Lovejoy. RPI with a couple of changes behind the play. Good work by Zaleski to allow that to happen, keeping the puck in the offensive zone. Bradley, shot was blocked, gets it back, but he's out of the zone. He'll have to backtrack out to center. Connects to Zaleski there. Near side for Dolan. He'll cross center and rip it in. Caroms around to the far corner. Chasing it down was Haggerty, couldn't control. Back out to center are the Big Green. Ferguson connects there with Shearhorn. Near side into the zone, Opperman has a step on Dolan, but elects to shoot and fires way wide. Free towards the far point, helped out to center by Haggerty. Onto the tape of Higgs. Into the zone 1-on-4. RPI will continue to make its change. Higgs goes down and gives a shove to the man who hit him. That was Bolt. Back the other way comes Bly. Far side pass into the skates of Leonard. Kicked at and kept in, however, by Shearhorn. LeBuff up the near wall. La Liberté back towards his own net. Picked away by LeBuff. They just shoot it out to center. And slow down the pressure a bit. Simpson near side of his own end. Up ahead to Bly. Crosses center, dumps it into RPI territory. There's a broken and loose stick in the near side of the RPI zone right along the boards. May cause some trouble. Puck kept in by Simpson. No, it did not. It's an offside whistle. 7:14 left in a scoreless first period.
Well, on Opperman's shot, he was coming into the zone. He sort of had a sidestep the broken stick on the ice, so it actually paid off for RPI because when he sidestepped the stick to avoid it, it caused a bad angle shot and caused the puck to go wide. 7:14 left to play in the first. No score, RPI and Dartmouth. And Diebold was out of position on the Opperman shot. But like I said before, as he had a sidestep the broken stick, caused the shot to go wide.
Face-off, neutral zone, shot into RPI territory, right to LeBuff. Engineers back the other way as Leonard connects to Neal. Tap deep into the far corner. Neal runs into the defenseman back there. That was Simpson. And now back the other way comes Dartmouth, 2-on-2 to the RPI line. They're offside again. A little too much dangle at the line from Troy Crema. Forces the whistle.
6:57 left to play in the first. No score here from the Fieldhouse. RPI and Dartmouth shot 7-3 in favor of the Engineers. A good hit simultaneously right as the whistle blew by Karate.
Face off far side neutral zone, and now Rogic tossed from the face-off circle, and he's shaking his head and wondering why. Whistle here again, and we're going to have to do it over again. Not sure for the cause of this one. Snorty's in there, though, against Crema to get this game restarted. 6:56 in the first period. 6:56 remaining. We are scoreless. Shots are 7-3 Engineers. Broken for off the draw, ahead for Rogic. Far side for DeVito, who dumps it in. Back to play at Kruger. Couldn't get there. Rogic stepped right in front of him, tried to center, but fanned on the pass. Dartmouth takes over. They're back out to center ice. McNally, far side, intercepted by Bokenfor. Near side Karate, now Rogic to center. Pass to DeVito into the zone. DeVito in the circle. Looks to feed in front. He does. Loose at the side of the net. Trying to stick it in was Tenorti, but keeping that right leg against the post there was Kruger to deny the senior captain Matt Tenorti for RPI. Pass to the blue line. Kept in by Miller on the sprawl. No! Linesman here. McNulty says he didn't. That's Matthew McNulty. Didn't let you know. The other officials today, Rick Patry, the other linesmen, the two referees are Brian Hicks and Mike Baker.
Yeah, the Matt Tenorti right on the doorstep about Kruger doing a good job preventing Tenorti from lifting the stick, and a diving shot by Miller to try to keep it in the zone just came up short.
Barry will skate it into the RPI zone. Far side, goes wide around Dolan. Backhands it behind the net. Trying to chase it down is Charlie Mosey. He's knocked off the puck. Bradley behind for Dolan. Dolan with pressure from Mosey. They're still working behind the RPI cage. Now a shoulder thrown by Bradley into Barry. Works the puck free. Now a long outlet pass looking for Schrader. Doesn't connect. Sent back the other way by Bartley. Or Hartley, rather. And now out to center come the Engineers. Here's Wood. Crosses center. Flips it in. It'll come on goal. Kicked away into the far side of the zone by Kruger. A couple Engineers run into each other, but they stay on the puck. That's Miller trying to work it deep. He ties up there with Mosey. Free to the half boards. Beamish. Fanned on the pass. Kept in by Schrader for the time being. Is right at the point. Far side. And kept it in again by Schrader on the whack. Taking over the Big Green near side. Bolt out to center. Shoots it up the wall. Tipped in deep by Barry. Leonard to grab it for RPI. He'll skate it out to center ice. Flip it far side for Schrader, who dumps it in. Rattled it around to the near corner. Poked at by Simpson. Toppling over him was Higgs, trying to keep the play alive. Now Zaleski over there, as is Haggerty, trying to keep it in the zone. They do. At the wall, it's Higgs to the point. A shot, stick save by Kruger on the try by LaBeouf. Behind the net, picked up by Higgs to the point. A shot by broken for, snapped his stick in half, and the puck comes free to the near side corner now to the point. Haggerty gets it back, or tried to get it back to Karate. Good interception and clear by Dempsey. Down the ice it goes. Back to get it broken for, quickly with a new stick. Like magic, I didn't see him go to the bench. As the Engineers move it out to center, Karate dumps it in with some help from Zaleski. Behind the net, it's Kruger. Stick handling free, Lovejoy. Good work there. Gets it ahead to Bly. Into the RPI zone, swatted at by Karate, turned back around by Haggerty. Haggerty picking up speed, neutral zone. Walking in, below the dots. Haggerty, centering pass, looking for Bubello, who's poked away. Back to Haggerty. Bank pass to the point, kept in by Dolan. Another broken stick to deal with, this time in the RPI zone. That's Bokenfor is still over there. Below the goal line again, the Engineers cycle. Far side corner. The Liberté comes out, finds Haggerty, rips one over the top, and it'll come down into the far point. Shot back in by Dolan. La Liberté, centering pass, Bubella. He'll throw it in front, hit a skate, comes free to the point for Bradley. Down low, Bubella couldn't handle the pass, and he's tied up and is taken away by Shearhorn. Up ahead, looking for Opperman, too far for him. Bradley turns it around, far side of the RPI zone. Near side, Neal. Couldn't connect, but does move on. It's La Liberté on the carry. He'll flip it down low. Kruger tries to help it into the corner and does. Played back to the point where Roderick just off the bench will keep it alive. Now back out to center on the clear. Crema ahead. Gets it back. No, a 2-on-1 chance for Dartmouth. Crema walking in. Looks. He feeds it in front. No, it's turned away by Diebold. He got in the way of the pass as he was down to try and stop either the pass or the shot. No shot even taken there. Now Tenorti back the other way. Trying to flip it far side. McNally picks up a loose puck as it was poked off the stick of Tenorti. Now 3-on-2 to the RPI line. O'Brien a shot. That one's blocked. Gets it back. Shot. High. May have been blockered by Diebold. Far point Simpson. Top of the circle now. Walking in. A shot was blocked by LaBeouf. Loose in the slot. Engineers have it. And they'll skate it out to center. Under 3 to go. And now fast moving first period. Shots are 10-4 Engineers. As it's picked up far side of the Dartmouth zone by McNally. Trying to skate around DeVito. DeVito hits him. Takes the puck away. But it's picked off by Barry. Barry centering pass. Mosey a shot. Pad save made. It's kicked into the corner. Good stop there. Good reactions from the RPI goaltender. Diebold in making the save. RPI plays catch in their own zone now. Shooting up the near wall. Barry intercepts. Ahead from Mosey. Taken over there near side by Beamish. He backhands it into the zone. Shot around behind the cage for Karate. Lost it for a second. Gets some help from Bokenfor. Near side RPI zone for Wood. Wood cross ice pass all the way through everybody. Took a bit of a deflection before getting to DeVito. Just chips it into the zone. Behind the net, Simpson. Taking a look over his shoulder is Brandon Kirk. He has the puck far corner of his own zone. RPI changing, so not a lot of pressure now. It is moved out to center by the Big Green. Far side to the zone. Mosey centering pass for Beamish. Wasn't looking. Goes right through him. Picked up by the Engineers. He'll send that back out to center. Controlled by Lovejoy. On to Nickerson. Near side shot easily seen by Diebold. He'll put his stick on it and then cover it with the glove.
Good back and forth action by both teams, although the last couple minutes of this period has been RPI. They've been trying to play cute, but they've been putting shots on the net, which is what they got to do. At times there was one too many passes. What I thought they should have shot it, but 1:46 left to play in the first. No score, RPI and Dartmouth.
Face-off coming to the left of Scott Diebold. There's some pushing and shoving before the face-off. Zaleski, who was listed as the center here. Oh, he will get to take this draw. I was going to say, he's been tossed from a couple of draws here and allowed Higgs to take a couple of them. Engineers win it again. Far side boards. Haggerty throws it into a skate. Zaleski picks it up and banks it off the backboards. Nobody back there but Mosey for Dartmouth. Or make it Nickerson, rather. Good move by Higgs to take the puck away. Now he'll skate out to center, cross it, and dump in. Oh. No icing. You can see our linesman over there. Not happy with himself. We're going to get a center ice face-off out of this. As Higgs clearly crossed center, and he knew it right away when he blew his whistle. That we're going to get a center ice face-off out of this errant whistle.
Yeah, he immediately called off the icing call, and he called for a center ice face-off. So Coach Apper saying, hey, can I change because you inadvertently blew the whistle? So the referee's allowing the change. 1:21 left to play in the first. No score, RPI in Dartmouth.
Only makes sense for the change to be allowed. RPI hadn't gotten the puck deep, so really a benefit to Dartmouth here. Bolt goes D to D with Hartley. Near side for Opperman. He'll just softly flip it into the zone. Leonard off the backboards, comes down off the dasher for Neal, throws it center ice for LeBuff, and now La Liberté. 3-on-2 to the line. Babella, a little move, spins around in the near circle, throws it behind the cage. Pinching up the wall is Leonard. Under a minute to go in the first, still scoreless. Now far point. La Liberté, pass near side, Babella fanned on the one-timer. Stays on the puck, however. Picked up by Opperman, taps it out to center, can't get through LeBuff. It'll be picked up by Leonard, who came over from the far side. Bouncing puck at center ice, shot in by Bolt, gloved by LeBuff, shot to center and dumped in deep by La Liberté. Engineers will complete their change, 32 seconds to go in the period. 10-6 are the shots in favor of the Engineers, as Dartmouth will start up from behind their own net. Hartley connects there to Crema into the zone. A wrister over the top of the crossbar. Comes free to the far point, where it's kept in on the backhand by O'Brien. Back behind by Bradley for Dolan. Bo Dolan off the near side glass, gets out of the zone just barely, picked up by Zaleski with 7 seconds. Zaleski into the zone, to the circle, shot was blocked by a stick. It'll go behind the cage. Tapped around to the far side, Higgs with 1 second, hits the Zamboni door, and that is how the first period will end. A scoreless one here at the Houston Fieldhouse.
And, wasn't for lack of trying. RPI trying to put on some offensive pressure and find their offense, but a good job by Dartmouth getting in the lanes and tying up pucks and passes. However, for the last 5 or 6 minutes of that first period, it was kind of tilted. The ice was kind of tilted in RPI's favor. Shots were 10-6 in favor of RPI, so reverse those numbers, and that's what you have for saves for Kruger and D-Bolt. But like I said, RPI has to put those pucks on the net and make Dartmouth make a mistake. Kruger likes to come out of his net a lot. We've seen it playing the puck. So if RPI could turn on the Jets a little bit and beat them out and get someone in front of the net and pass it, they could get a bull goal in the back of the net, an empty netter without even trying. So Coach Tappert will take his team into the locker room to talk to them and make his adjustments of what he wants to do for the second period. So we're going to take a short break. We'll be back here for the second period of action, rather. Score here after 1 period of play is RPI 0, Dartmouth 0. You're listening to live coverage of Engineer Men's Hockey on 91.5 FM, WRPI Troy.
Start the clock. There we go, 30 seconds right now. Remember, football, your banking, insurance, and investment needs. Visit SetView on Wilson Street or right here on campus at the Rensselaer Union. 15 seconds. Five, 3, 2, 1. That's it. 30 seconds. Time's up. Michael Cowher, let's see how much you wanted the money grab inside that SetView money machine. Thank you for participating tonight. Remember, for banking, insurance, and investment needs, visit SetView on Wilson Street in Troy or on campus at the Rensselaer Union. And when you're going downtown, don't forget to stop by Ryan's Wake. They're proud to support RPI Athletics. Head downtown after the game. Check out the new pub kitchen at Ryan's Wake. men's hockey would like to thank the following sponsors: GE, Lowe's, Century, CBTA, The Rock, Bank of America, CDPHP, Jenny Montgomery Scott, Price Chopper, Axco Fence, Yankee Trails, Redford Pizza, Tri-City Rentals, Corrales, Army, Troy Cabinet Makers, Ben and Jerry's, Warren W. Fain, William J. Keller and Sons Construction, and Tri-City Valley Cats, all proud sponsors of RPI Hockey.
8 Engineers in that first period. Shots were 10-6. 2 of them came on their lone power play. They're, of course, 0 for 1 on the man advantage. Far side corner of the Dartmouth zone, kicked around by Higgs a bit. He's tied up by Simpson. Higgs trying to work it to himself up the far boards. He's tripped up. Puck comes free to the corner. Simpson's back on it. Being pressured by Haggerty. Goes behind the net. Chopped at by Kirk. Near side corner. Centering pass broken up. Thrown towards the side of the cage. Zaleski will pick it up behind the net now. He's tied up. Zaleski off the skate of Haggerty. Now played back to the point for Leonard. Leonard wraps it around behind the net again. Centering pass out in front. One-timer. They score!
That was a nice goal. Ryan Haggerty putting it in the back of the net as centering pass Haggerty right there, and his long reach of the long reach of Haggerty puts it in. I believe it was Zaleski with the assist, the pass from behind the net. So those two hooking up for RPI's first goal of the game. 19:15 left to play in the second period. RPI 1-0 over Dartmouth, and RPI good start to a period that has historically this season not been kind to them.
Off the post and in for Ryan Haggerty, his 19th of the year. As the Engineers have the 1-0 lead, 45 seconds into period number 2. Face-off win center ice by Dartmouth. It's an even strength goal for Haggerty. As Lovejoy shoots it down the center of the ice, it was deflected deep by Opperman. First one there is Bradley for the Engineers. Gave it away, however, at the blue line. Flipped towards the net, bouncing puck. Sticked wide by Diebold. Far side corner again. Slaps off from the point. That one goes wide into the near side. Picked up by RPI. Schrader with speed to center. Into the zone. Schrader below the goal line. All the way around to the far side. Try to play it back to the point. It was deflected. Dolan will have to skate this one down. He'll have a bit of a race there as Bly tries to beat him to it. As they careen into the backboards. Down goes Bly. Puck comes free to the near corner for Luke Karate. Karate spins back behind his own net. Finds Dolan. Dolan back to Karate. Karate up the near boards. Tapped to center. Nice play there by Schrader. Gets it ahead to Miller. All by himself in the zone. Is poked free by Beamish. Puck goes into the corner. Beamish puts Bradley into the wall. It'll hop off the back of the Dartmouth goal, and now they'll control. Big Green have it. It's Josh Hartley. The freshman works it up the near side boards all the way down. It'll be icing on Dartmouth. Minute 53 into period number 2. The Engineers have taken a 1-0 lead.
Goal for RPI was Ryan Haggerty, actually from Brock Higgs and Curtis Leonard at 45 seconds. So they determined it was Higgs behind the net. 18:07 left to play in the second. 1-0 RPI over Dartmouth. Mark Miller couldn't get up to speed to get that breakaway chance.
Face-off win to the point for Bokenfour. His dumping attempt is blocked down by Beamish and shot back far side. Karate trying to skate there with Barry. Spinning around far side. Mosey gets it deep. Barry trying to turn the corner. He's tied up by Karate. Hooked just a bit. Puck comes free. The Engineers have it. Neal. Saucer pass on the backhand out to center for La Liberté. Trying to work it in front for Babella. It's tapped around him and sent back the other direction. Here comes Mosey to the RPI line. Near side Simpson jumping into the attack. Shoots one off the back of the pipe. It looked like it'll go behind the net. Picked up far corner. Slapped towards the point all the way down. I think that was off a Dartmouth stick, and it was. Goes rolling back all the way down. And we get a whistle here. I thought that it was off of a Dartmouth stick. And so that shouldn't have been icing, but they blow it dead anyway. I think that's what Coach Appert's arguing right now.
That is what Seth is saying. He's saying, hey, it hit a Dartmouth stick and went around the net and all the way down. Shouldn't be an icing, but he's not going to. Well, now the referees are talking about it, so we'll see if he wins his argument.
I thought I saw that from here, and if that's what Seth saw from down there, it should be pretty apparent to everyone else. But
yep. So Perry and Coach Appert agree. 17:21 left to play in the second. 1-0 RPI. Faceoff will come to center ice. Now Bob Gaudette has to get his explanation from the referees as well.
Yep. In the end, they got the call right, so we can't argue too much with it. Shots are 11-7 RPI, including the one that went in. 17-16 left in the second period. Puck underneath some bodies right in front of the RPI bench. Johnny Rajek's getting shoved by Ferguson. And now we're going to get a whistle here. They're going to get a cross check.
We're going to get
interference, excuse me.
Yeah, interference against Dartmouth.
Yep.
Roderick was playing the puck, got rid of it, and then went into the boards as he was getting the scrum. So it's going to be.
Well, why is the faceoff going into RPI into the ice now?
Well,
it's on the engineers.
Yeah,
that's why. Okay, they're going to call Roderick for it.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be against Dartmouth. It looked like it was going to be Ferguson going off in the box.
Yeah, Dartmouth had the puck, which is why I thought it would be on them. You're right.
But Roderick's going to go in.
Anyway, first power play chance for Dartmouth here. Their power play right now at 18.6% on the season. Not very good. Right towards the middle of the pack in the national scene. Engineers on the kill, 80.2%, has been going down as of recently. They like that number in the 85-86 range. As RPI does clear, Dartmouth back into the zone. It's Simpson. Drops it back to the point. Shot on goal. Stick behind by Diebold. Trying to slam it out near side. Dolan kept in by Kirk. Up the wall for Bly. He's tied up by Bradley. Comes free to the far point. Simpson walking in. Takes a shot. That one's blocked by Higgs. Another shot. That one goes wide. Caroms around to the half wall for Bly again. Centering pass to the slot. Shot was blocked by a shin pad. That was Higgs again. And he'll skate out the center with it. The assistant captain will just dump it in and go off on a change. Solid kill shift there for Brock Higgs. Tipped all the way down. It comes on goal. Stopped with a paddle by Diebold. There's Beamish and he and Barry both on the charge, so Diebold will cover it up there.
16:06 left to play in the second. RPI leads Dartmouth 1-0 here in Troy, but in Hanover on the women's side, we talked about it in the intermission. It is now 1-1 as Dartmouth ties that game up in the second period.
Face off to the right of Diebold. One to the wall. Beamish is the first one there. He'll dive to poke it deep. Neal behind the net, gets some help from above. Puck pops in the air for a second. Now it's between the skate of Barry and the wall, or Beamish rather. Shot out the far side and all the way out of the ice by Neal. And he'll say it was directly off his stick, so the faceoff will stay in the RPI zone.
15:51 left to play in the second. Ryan Haggerty's goal from Brock Higgs and Curtis Leonard. 45 seconds into the second period. There's where we stand, 1-0 RPI.
Face off far side of the ice now. Schrader on the draw with Mosey, won by the Big Green. Hartley at the far point, pulls it back, takes a shot, deflects, kicked around, and never got to Diebold. It'll be cleared out of the zone after Schrader then took a bit of a slash on the wrist. He'll shake it off. Quick outlet pass to the RPI blue line. Barry run into by Higgs, and he chops it back out to center. 28 seconds to go on the Roderick penalty. First power play game for Dartmouth. Skated in far side. A little bit of a pick play there as Higgs was pinched off the play. It'll be picked up by the Engineers behind their own net, however. Dolan will fling it far side off the skate of Higgs. He'll carry it ahead. 2-on-2 shorthanded. Has Zaleski trailing. Higgs on the move. Goes into the corner. He's tied up. And he'll just pin it against the wall and waste some time. 5 seconds to go on the Roderick penalty, and Engineers will kill this one. Higgs still has it against the boards. Finally dug free. Zaleski trying a little stick handle toe drag move to get free. Picked up by Haggerty. Haggerty trying to walk into the slot. He'll spin around to the point to get loose. Now Zaleski trying to walk in front. Shot saved. Another shot by Zaleski. He's turned away, and it's going to be held onto by Kruger. Now some more pushing and shoving between Beamish and Zaleski behind the Dartmouth goal as they have to be restrained.
Yeah, we might see some penalties out of this one as Beamish took a shot at Zaleski. Zaleski was trying to put the puck in the net. Referee finally able to break them up. No call as both combatants will skate to their respective benches. 14:52 left to play in the second. 1-0 Dartmouth over, or rather RPI over Dartmouth.
Face off to the left of James Kruger, made 23 saves in a tie with then number 12 Cornell last Saturday for Dartmouth. And he gets to start again here. He was injured in warm-ups early on in the season. He was only making his third appearance of the year. Shot from the far circle was blocked. It'll be gloved at the blue line. No one knows where it is. Finally helped along by Crema. Far side, here's McNally. Centering pass on the back end. Lovejoy flipped it over the top. Kicked along by Babella. Far side, Lovejoy's there. back to his defensive spot. Helped into the corner by O'Brien. McNally hit by Babella, comes free to Zaleski, or Liberté rather. Carried along by Babella, far side circle. Moving in front, shot save, rebound. Chopped at by Haggerty. Now he gets in a pushing and shoving match there with Jeff Ferguson, as it was covered again by Kruger.
Yeah, again, Haggerty was trying to poke home a rebound and took a shot for his efforts. But no penalty is going to be called on Ferguson.
Face off to the right of Kruger. Stands at 6'3", 205 pounds, the sophomore. Has stopped 12 of the 13 shots he's faced so far. Diebold perfect at the other end, 9 of 9 for the Engineers. RPI will get it deep. Simpson behind the net. Far side half boards to the point, kept in by Karate, who slams it into the near corner. Goes behind for Miller. Mark Miller in the corner now, looking to cycle. He's knocked off his stick by Simpson around to the far side. Chopped that there, and out to center by Bullock. Dempsey tried to make a move around Bokenfour. Good feet by Bokenfour to work it free. Into the zone now. Drop pass by Schrader, trying to find Wood. It's a little bit behind him, and now allow the Big Green back out to center. Turn it right back to the Engineers. Into the zone, it's Schrader again. Near side with some space. A shot goes wide, looking low. They'll carry him all the way out of the zone and all the way down the ice. Engineers will go back to get it. It's going to be Chris Bradley. Both teams making changes here. Dartmouth, the wholesale switch as Chris Bradley will skate coast to coast here. Runs into a Dartmouth player that was blind at the blue line, lost the puck. Picked up at the point by DeVito. Tried to walk into the middle of the ice. He was turned away, and now here comes Dartmouth back the other direction. Another shot. That one saved off the shoulder of Diebold on the try by Shearhorn. Kept in far point. It'll be gloved by Diebold. That one was headed high and wide off the stick of Taylor Bolt. Diebold will hold on.
13:01 left to play in the second. 1-0 RPI over Dartmouth. Teams now trying to find their offense. RPI trying to get their second goal. Came close a few times. Dartmouth trying to get their first goal. Not so close. 13:01 left to play in the second. 1-0 RPI.
Face off back to the point. Bolt feeds it up the wall, turning and shooting Beamish off the base of the net. Wraparound try. Barry gets it out to the point. Recovering is Diebold to make a save. Loose. Another shot off the side of the cage. Diebold's stick is actually behind the cage as Diebold flops about 3 or 4 feet out of his net to pounce on a loose puck.
Yeah, nice awareness too by Diebold, realizing, hey, I don't have my stick. His defenders didn't know that he didn't have a stick. So nobody offered one up for him, and he had an opportunity to cover the puck, and he did so. 12:49 left to play in the second. 1-0 RPI over Dartmouth.
Face off to the right of Diebold. I'd like to remind you, our listening live coverage of RPI Hockey, 91.5 FM, WRPI Troy. Peerless Garrison, Ed Garian from the Houston Fieldhouse. A 1-0 lead for RPI, trying to work out of their own zone. They can hurry along here. Outlet pass for Haggerty into the zone. Trying to make a move around the defenseman. Couldn't do so. Good play by Hartley. Engineers stay on the puck, however. It's Zaleski down low behind the net. Wraparound try. Bouncing in front. Chopping at it is Haggerty. It's covered again by Kruger. And a whistle.
And now we're going to get people tossed as referee Brian Hicks is saying, hey, get to the penalty box. There's going to be a slash, and it's going to be against RPI.
It's going to be Haggerty.
Yeah, Ryan Haggerty going to the penalty box. He probably just got sick of taking some shots down there in his zone, and he got one in his zone. 12:29 left to play in the second. And unfortunately for him, Brian Hicks caught him that time. So Haggerty goes into the box for 2 minutes.
Second power play chance of the game for Dartmouth. They win the offensive zone draw. Simpson spins it back to the point for Bly, and now here's Grant Opperman. Now high slot. Simpson shoots one on goal. Tipped in front by Shearhorn. It went wide. Shearhorn camped out right in front of Diebold. Got a good deflection, but it put it wide of the goal. Now Bly at the point. Another shot through the legs of Shearhorn this time, and is held onto by Diebold. As Shearhorn has been seemingly given free rein in front of the RPI crease. Engineers have tried to move him out of there.
Yeah, 12:07 left to play in the second period. 1-0 RPI over Dartmouth. RPI trying to kill off their second penalty kill of the evening.
Face off, one back by the Engineers, slammed out by Dolan all the way down the ice and just wide of the Dartmouth goal. Simpson will pick it up, far circle of his own end, backtrack behind the cage. Here comes Andy Simpson, the team's top point scorer on the blue line. 3 goals and 6 assists for 9 points. Dumps it deep. Around behind for Dolan. He has it pinned up against the backboard. 3 and 3, they pair off behind the RPI goal. Puck not going anywhere. Finally kicked to the corner. Neal's going to get on it. Backhanded towards the point. Bouncing puck kept by Simpson. Deflected in front by Shearhorn. Never got to goal. Now the Engineers will head back shorthanded the other direction. Dolan leads the rush far side. Gets it poked off his stick for a second. He'll work behind the net. Still Dolan around to the near side. Now he loses an edge and goes down. Takes Kirk with him. Dartmouth back the other way. Opperman, top of the circle. Leaves it at the point for Bly. Bly trying to work around LaBeouf. Still Bly. LaBeouf puts him into the wall. Puck comes free. Bly kicks at it. Comes loose to the near corner. Opperman digging it loose. He can't control. Cleared all the way down into the far corner by Schrader. 11 minutes to go in the second. 34 seconds on the Haggerty slashing penalty. As Dartmouth will set things up behind their own net is Brandon Kirk. Freshman out of Laverne, California. Looking for his first collegiate point. He's playing in now his 7th game of the season. Behind the net. Far side Beamish to the point. Faked a shot there was Bullock, a converted defenseman. Shot save on the try by Beamish. Picked up far corner by Barry. 10 seconds to go on the Haggerty penalty. Behind the RPI goal. Beamish on it. Looking to center. Gets it back. Beamish again. Fires one from a tight angle. It hits off the leg of LaBeouf. Haggerty back onto the ice. We're back to Eva, but danger now over. Bullock with a shot from the point was blocked. Tapped out to center. All the way down it goes. It will not be icing. They wave it off. RPI will make a partial change, as will Dartmouth. Puck pops in the air, far side neutral zone. Engineers have it, near side Babella into the zone. Poked off his stick, that time by Hartley. Kept in momentarily. Kicked at by Crema. Engineers have it in the neutral zone. Shot in by Karate. Stopped behind the net by Kruger. He'll help it along to the near side half boards. Kept in point by Bokenfour. Shot off a skate of Hartley. Picked up Haggerty, looking for the deflection in front. It's tipped high over the net into the far corner. Babella fighting for it. Works free by Crema out to center. Crema gets it back from McNally. Now here's O'Brien, or Crema rather. Faked a shot. Walks in, looking for that top corner. He put it high. Near side Ferguson keeps it in on the pinch at the point. Karate helping into the corner. Runs into Crema. Big size mismatch. A mismatch for Karate with Crema. And now DeVito back the other way for RPI. Into the zone. DeVito behind the net. Still waiting, takes a hit and goes down hard in the corner. He's slow to get up. Puck still over there with him. It's pushed towards the point. McNally has it. He'll backtrack a bit into his own end. DeVito slowly skating back to his own bench. Lovejoy picks it up, backhands it to the center of the ice. Actually to the circle for O'Brien. Now into the corner. He's tied up by Bradley. Worked into the wall. That's Bly. Worked free, and now we're going to get a whistle here. They're going to get Rogic, I guess, for interference. Looked like both players were tied up. No holding. Looked like Rogic and Bly kind of got tangled up in equipment there. And Rogic can get a penalty for this.
Yeah, Rogic's going to go off for not much more than what happened on the other end of the ice when an RPI forward went down hard into the boards. 8:51 left to play in the second. 1-0 RPI, and Dartmouth will go on their third power play of the night. They're 0 for 2.
So face-off coming here to D-Bull's right. It's just 1-0 RPI. Shots are 16-13 in favor of Dartmouth now, so they've flipped the script there. Clearing attempt, far side. Higgs gets it all the way down. Stopped there by Kruger. Starting things up will be Ryan Bullock, the sophomore out of Eden Prairie, Minnesota, former Muskegon Lumberjack. Gets it into the zone. Poked off the stick of Beamish behind the net for Barry. He's tied up by Leonard. Poked towards the point by Barry. Higgs can't get it out of the zone. Beamish in the corner. Centering pass. Swept away neatly by LaBeouf. Just had his stick on the ice. Exactly how you're supposed to play it. Now picked up far side Higgs. Do they want to go shorthanded? It's carried along by Zaleski with Higgs trailing. Poked off the stick of Zaleski. Higgs picks it up. He'll shield the puck behind the net. Zaleski. Tight angle shot. Flips it high and wide. Picked up in the near circle of the Dartmouth zone by the Big Green. Hartley back for Bullock. And now far side they shoot it in. Wrap it around to the near corner. First one there's Bradley taken over by Hartley. to the far circle. Could not be handled by Bly. Race for the puck. Neal's trying to get there, and he does. Neal trying to work it free. Looking for that touch pass. It's knocked in the air. Had a man cutting to the net. It was Schrader. Couldn't find him as it was broken up by the Dartmouth defense. Flipped into the zone by Simpson. Shearhorn, first one to it. Backhands it behind. Off the backboard. Opperman to the point. Bly has it there. Takes a wrist shot. That one hits bodies in front. Looks like it hit Shearhorn and went wide. Move back to the point for Simpson. His shot was blocked. Picked up Schrader. Has some time to clear. He will eventually shoot it down. 27 seconds to go on the Rogic penalty. 7:15 to go second period. RPI with a 1-0 lead over Dartmouth here. The only league game of the weekend for RPI. They take on Union tomorrow in the second annual Mayor's Cup. That will be a non-conference game as Engineers have already completed their season series with the Dutchmen. RPI shoots it down again. 7 minutes to go in the period. Penalty about to expire to Rogic. Not even time for another rush here for Dartmouth. It's going to be Bly through center to Shearhorn. We're back to 5 aside. Shearhorn into the zone. Gets bumped by Higgs. Shot back the other direction. Race for the puck. Haggerty is offside. And the whistle goes. It was a close play at the line. Rear side. Hitting the blue line almost the exact same time.
Yeah, really questionable call for the linesman. It's a judgment call, so
I think that's probably the hardest offside call I've ever seen.
Yeah, you're not going to get much of an argument from Coach Appert on that one. It's not like it was an obvious blown call. 6:43 left to play in the second. 1-0 RPI.
Lovejoy at the point. Keeps it in. Roll it around to the near side. Goal line. Trying to control Crumma. He's knocked off the puck, and the Engineers have it. Dolan to center for Haggerty. On the move. Finds Bubella in stride. Pulls it back. Top of the circle. Leaves it for Haggerty, who comes over to help. Haggerty out in front. Looking for the wraparound now. Back to the point for Bradley. Near side. Bradley back to Haggerty. Top of the circle. Haggerty walking in. Looking to feed it in front for Bubella. He thought he'd be going to the net. He didn't. The puck just moves into the corner. Haggerty trying to work it back towards the point area. Finds Dolan at the wall. Dolan back down low. LaLiberte through his own legs to Haggerty. Looking to make a move. Still Haggerty on the puck behind the net. Spins around. Haggerty still on it. Centering pass. Hits a body. Comes right back to him. Haggerty now tied up by Crumma. Centering pass to Liberté. Down low. What a play. They score! Tic-tac passing around Haggerty.
Yeah.
To La Liberté to Bubella. Face it off in an open net. That was pretty.
Yeah, it was. It was basically it was Haggerty behind the net. Had two defenders on him. And Bubella was wide open in the slot. Nobody picked up Bubella. They were all concentrating on Haggerty. Haggerty managed to get it out to La Liberté, who had great vision, and saw Bubella cutting to the net, and it was boom, boom, boom. And Bubella puts it in the back of the net for a 2-0 RPI lead. Pretty goal. 5:53 left to play in the second. 2-0 RPI over Dartmouth.
Milos Bubella picks up his third of the year. Assist number 16. That leads the club. Jacob La Liberté. Eyes in the back of his head there. Able to make that pass over. 2-0 now is the score. Another even strength goal for RPI in this game. As they tie up once again behind the Dartmouth goal. This time it's Miller. Gets some help from Wood. Miller still being tied up. Forces his way out of the corner. Takes a shot. That one stopped by Kruger. Skated along by Bullock. Poked off his stick by Schrader. Around to the near corner. Bokenford there. Backhands it back behind. Loved by Karate. Some pressure coming from Bullock. Karate will scoop it off the backboard. And it comes right back in his face as Bullock's still battling him for it there. Popped in the air towards the point. Bouncing puck held in by Bull. Comes down off the dasher behind the net for Dempsey. Connor Dempsey to the near side of the RPI zone corner. And now goes back behind again. Comes out in front for a second. And now back around to the near side for Dempsey. He'll cycle all the way to the far side. Now a shot off the base of the cage by Bullock. This fourth line pressuring for the Big Green. Finally, the Engineers have it. Wood just scoops it out to center before taking a hit. And it'll be Hartley to dump it back in. Karate for RPI. Off the near wall, tipped in deep by Schrader. Kirk back to claim it. Brandon Kirk will give it away in the zone. Picked up by Tenorti. Has a man cutting to the net. It's Rogic. Tenorti spins around and plays it back to the point. Leonard through traffic, never got to goal. Shot off the near wall. Tenorti throws a big hit into Andy Simpson. Shot out to center. Flipped back the other way by LeBeuf. Rogic off the wall. Gets it back. Rogic in the middle. Fanned on a shot. Loose puck kicked at. Picked up by the Engineers. Tenorti on the backhand. Spins around in the near corner. Still Tenorti looking in front. He's looking for the deflection from DeVito. Looked like he changed directions a bit, but not on goal. Behind the net now. Leonard all the way down low with it. Tried to feed it back to the point. Now he does where LeBeuf has it. He'll just flip it back deep. DeVito behind the cage. Help from Rajic. Free to the circle. That shot really got in on the heel of the stick on Tenorti. Couldn't get a good shot away. Tenorti picks it up on the cycle from Rajic. Turning and shooting. That one's blocked. Comes all the way free to the near circle where it's picked up by Leonard. Good pressure here. 5-on-5 for RPI. LaBeouf. Far side. Takes a shot and it goes wide. Caroms around to the near corner for DeVito. DeVito holding. Spinning around at the point. Just does keep it in the zone. No, he doesn't. Say it left the zone. RPI will have to touch up. And that will allow Dartmouth to control. It was tipped high in the air. It'll go out of play. And into the curtains in the far corner of the field house.
3:15 left to play in a second. 2-0 RPI over Dartmouth. Mueller Kubela from Jacob Lalibate and Ryan Haggerty at 14:07 of the second. And to borrow a phrase from former colleague Tim Hyman, RPI buzzing in their own end on that shift. Making something happen, almost getting a third goal in that flurry of activity for the Engineers. 3:15 left to play in the second. 2-0 RPI.
Face off, center ice coming up. Won by the Engineers. It's Bradley going D-to-D with Dolan. Cross ice pass connects. Scooped into the zone by Higgs. First one there. It'll be Ferguson. Tie up in the corner. Zaleski's there for RPI with Higgs. Higgs, nice move to get free for a second. He's being all tied up by Ferguson. Fans want to call. Just good stick play there. Good body work defensively for Dartmouth. There's a shot from the top of the near circle by Shearhorn. Easily gloved by Diebel.
2:47 left to play in the second. 2-0 RPI over Dartmouth. Diebel looked very confident in the net tonight for RPI. There has been a few games where he seemed a little shaky, giving up rebounds and bad goals. But tonight he looks very confident. He looks like nothing's going to get by him. 2:47 left to play in the second. 2-0 RPI over Dartmouth.
Face off here. Shearhorn trying to walk out in front with it. Zaleski's stick is all tied up. Now a shot comes, and a little bit of a scary moment there for Diebel as it may have gotten behind him, but he sits down and keeps the puck out.
And of course, just as I say that, one does get behind him, but fortunately for him, it doesn't go in the net. He was able to glove it before it went in. So 17-15 shots in favor of Dartmouth right now. But more importantly, RPI has a 2-0 lead on the scoreboard where it matters.
Face-off win for Dartmouth. Shot by Ferguson. He scores. It went through a screen. Diebel didn't see it at all. It made its way just inside the far post. And just like that, it's a 2-1 game.
I'd like to apologize to Scott Diebel, for jinxing him and a puck getting by him. Just as I say, it always happens. Just as someone says, he looks confident and looks like nothing's going to get by him. Sure enough, one gets by him. And that time, it wasn't his fault. It was through a screen. He didn't even really see it until it was by him. 2:37 left to play in the second. 2-1 RPI over Dartmouth.
Engineers win the center ice draw. Leonard working it through center, backhands it deep. First one there is Ferguson for Dartmouth. He gets run into by Miller awkwardly. Miller went down. They'll go back behind the net once again. Ferguson poking at it. Comes free to the half boards. And now out to center. Tracking it down is Jake Wood. Stick handles around one man. Still getting pressured by Crema. Lots of stick play there. Getting up in the midsection of Wood, but he gets it deep. Schrader back for Wood. Trying to backhand it in front. Bouncing puck in the circle. And it'll move out to center. LaBeouf for Karate. Karate through center. Connects to Wood. Pulling it back. Thought about taking a shot. It was blocked. Picked up far corner of the Dartmouth zone by Schrader. Schrader trying to kick it to himself. Trying to get it to the point. It's intercepted and moved out to center, where it's moved along by Bly. Near side, McNally. Centering pass. Goes through Karate to the far corner, where it's swatted behind by Nickerson. Two Big Green over there. Karate and another Engineer, looks like Miller, on top of the puck in the corner. Right in front of where the Zamboni enters the ice. Now Karate dumps McNally, and then we get a whistle, as the whistle's going to come anyway just because the puck was tied up. And now we're going to get some discussions going on in that corner.
1:22 left to play in the second. 2-1 RPI leads over Dartmouth. And wonder if Karate's going to...
Looks like he is going off
go
here.
To the box here.
Or no, he's going to the bench.
Okay, so Karate's going to the bench. Sort of a hit just just after the whistle came, so a borderline.
I guess they need the puck.
But
puck was still sitting in the corner.
Oh, yes, that would help. Can't drop the puck without the puck.
1:22 on the clock. 2-1 now, RPI leading. Dartmouth scoring an even strength goals. A minute ago. A shot from the point. Made its way through a screen, and now it's a centering pass loose in the middle. Engineers pick it up. DeVito flinging it out of the zone. It'll be chased down by Bolt at center. Poked at by Rajic. Works it back neatly to Bradley. And now Bradley ahead for Rajic. Into the zone. Backhands it on goal from center ice. It'll be covered up by James Kruger.
1:03 left to play in the second period. RPI continues to lead Dartmouth 2-1 on second period goals for RPI by Ryan Haggerty at 45 seconds and Milos Bubella. The time of that goal was 14:07 and 17:43. It was Jeff Ferguson from Crema for Dartmouth.
Second goal of the year for Ferguson on that one. RPI wins the draw, looking to feed it back to Haggerty after he gave it to Bradley off his skate. Engineers do get it deep, however. Zaleski near side corner. Still on the puck. Feeds it in front through the legs of Higgs. Moved out to center. Dolan went for the hit. As the puck comes free to center, Bradley has it. Spins it back for Dolan. Dolan back to Bradley. Center ice. Connects to the blue line for Haggerty. Does chop it into the zone. Loose in the near circle now. Puck played with a high stick. Touched, so they wave it off. Not sure who did it. Big Green have it behind their own net. It's Mosey. Can't keep it in at the blue line. Haggerty being pressured. Backhands it back to LaBeouf. 18 seconds to go, second period. Zaleski catches the pass, trying to get it deep. It hit off the linesman, I think. Kicked into the zone by Mosey, who gets dumped by LaBeouf. And now Higgs will backtrack behind his own net. Maybe one more rush here with 7 seconds. Let's see what the Engineers do. Higgs in no hurry. He'll hold onto it there and wait for forecheck pressure to come, and that was his intent all along. Was just run out the final 9 seconds behind his own cage.
Yeah, and a smart move by Brock Higgs. He didn't want anything stupid to happen, and Dartmouth to score a crap goal at the end of the second period. So he just hang on to it and said, hey, if I get any pressure, I will dump the puck away from the pressure and run the clock out. But Dartmouth sort of knew what was going on, and they sort of lightened up there for the last 9 seconds and sort of let Higgs run the clock out as they wanted to go into the bench as well. So RPI with 2 second period goals, Dartmouth with 1, and that's where we stand. It was a good action by RPI, putting the pressure on, almost getting a third goal, the shift right after they scored the second goal.
Yeah, and it was really a good period for RPI considering the fact that they took 3 penalties, the Engineers did. 3 full 2-minute power plays for Dartmouth. They were not able to convert, and Engineers actually scoring twice, 5-on-5. To have that lead, and then really a tough luck goal against the Engineers, against Scott Diebold, who had been playing well and still is really playing well in this game. Out of the 18 shots he has faced at the one end, he didn't see it as a shot from the point by Jeff Ferguson. Had eyes into the just inside the far post. A shot from the left-hand point.
Yeah, and nothing really Diebold could do about that. Didn't see it until it was past his shoulder in the back of the net. Right after I said he was looking confident and he was looking like one wasn't going to get by him. Sure enough, never fails, one gets by him. The age-old broadcasting feat is never jinx somebody in any sport, whether it be a goaltender, baseball player, football player, basketball player, whatever. But right now we're going to take a short break. We'll be back here for the third period of play in a few moments. The score after 2 periods of play is RPI 2, Dartmouth 1. You're listening to live coverage of Engineer men's hockey on 91.5 FM, WRPI Troy.
Welcome back to welcome to RPI TV in our second intermission. We're here live with Bob Keller from the National Grid Foundation. Bob, thanks very much for joining us tonight.
It's absolutely my pleasure, and what an exciting venue and game to be a part of tonight.
Tell us a little bit about what National Grid Foundation is and what you folks are all about.
Sure. The National Grid Foundation is a corporate affiliate of National Grid Corporation. We're a charitable foundation, and we primarily do grant making for educational programming and a lot of environmental programs and projects in New York State and Massachusetts and Rhode Island, and it's a wonderful opportunity for us to be able to give back in all the communities that we work in. We're particularly focused on bringing unique educational opportunities to kids that have less, and Hoops for the Stars and now Shoot for the Stars has really become a great example of that.
Well, the Shoot for the Stars is a partnership with RPI Athletics, and can you talk a little bit about that and how it came about and the benefits of it?
Well, Shoots for the Stars is really a new wrinkle for us, and it really is based on the Hoops for the Stars program that we had established 7 years ago. And the whole purpose of this is really to motivate kids in the classroom. Like any of us who work, we get paid for what we do, and we want children early on in their lives to understand that when they work hard and do well in the classroom, that there are rewards for that. And it's an absolute privilege for us to be able to work with RPI, such a distinguished institution that has a terrific hockey program and fan base. And we realize that this would be a wonderful reward for children, and RPI has just been so generous in opening up the campus to the community, and now this is just another wonderful way to do that.
Well, as a representative of RPI Athletics, we want to thank you for the partnership. We think it's a wonderful opportunity for the two great organizations to get together and perhaps help those who need some assistance.
Well, thank you so much for the opportunity. Really look forward to the rest of the season and to a great game tonight. And we hope that we're making a difference in the lives of children here in Troy.
Thanks very much. That's Bob Keller from the National Grid Foundation joining us live here at Houston Fieldhouse.
You're ready. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Jump your pucks. This is the Bombers burrito bar. Kept the puck competition. The puck that ends up closest to the center right face-off dot will win a good certificate. 2. Bombers burrito bar. And just a second, they're not done. Last 5 seconds, folks. You got to throw it. If you've got it, throw it. That'll do it. Let's pick a winner. Number 4, number 4 is the winner, the Bombers Burrito Bar. 7 o'clock contest.
Upon further inspection of our viewership data, we found that there really are a lot of similarities between humans and guinea pigs. Maybe they're not quite that different. They both eat, they both sleep, and they both watch Engineers Hockey live on RPI TV.
That's a great idea.
What a fantastic save by Jason Kasdorf. The RPI goaltender is on top of his game tonight. I can't wait to see what he comes up with next.
the RPI Batman. Elsewhere in the ECAC tonight, the end of 2 periods, Yale 1, Palm 1. Also after 2, in Schenectady, it's Union 3, Harvard 1. And after 2 periods, in Ithaca, it's Cornell 4, St. Lawrence 3. Late in the second, in Hamilton, it's Colgate 2, Clarkson 1. Hey, kids, become a junior engineer kid club member today and experience the exciting world of RPI athletics. Kids Club members' benefits include birthday parties, meet and greets, and full RPI athletics access. Log on to rpiathletics.com for more information. Don't forget, the engineers will take on Union tomorrow night at the PU Center in the second annual Capital District Mayor's Cup Fan Fest begins at 6 p.m. The puck drops at 7:30 at the PU Center.
Welcome back, hockey fans, to the catwalk on the campus of Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, the Houston Fieldhouse in Troy, New York, for the third period of today's game between the RPI Engineers and the Dartmouth Big Green. Ed DeGuerin along with Perry Lascaris here on the call for you on 91.5 FM WRPI Troy, your home for engineer hockey. Before we get started with the second period of play, we'd like to thank the Rensselaer Union, which provides the funding for WRPI and all club-related activity of the Institute, including WRPI's coverage of RPI men's and women's ice hockey, football, and baseball. Also, a reminder, WRPI is on the World Wide Web. Point your browser to www.wrpi.org, and you can hear our broadcast 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So long as WRPI is broadcasting, we will provide the broadcast on our internet feed. Once again, that is www.wrpi.org. And a reminder, WRPI is seeking current RPI students to make live calls of games such as this one between the RPI Engineers and the Dartmouth Big Green. There are opportunities this season to get on the air for men's and women's ice hockey or later in the year baseball if you prefer. If interested, please send us an email at wrpi-sports@rpi.edu. Once again, it is it's wrpi-sports@rpi.edu.
Shots through 2 periods, 18 to 15 Dartmouth. There were 12-5 Big Green in that second period, including 6 on the power play. They had 3 power play opportunities in the second. Did not score, and them did score an even strength goal, as we talked about. Jeff Ferguson's second of the year from Troy Crema. RPI getting goals from Haggerty, his 19th rather, and Milo Shabella his third. Haggerty picking up an assist on that second goal. He is the only player in the game with 2 points. Getting set for the third period. Engineers will skate from right to left here. We are 5 skaters aside to start the third. RPI trying to hold on to a 1-goal lead. See if they can add to that. That'll be even better. Engineers win the center ice draw. Near side of their own end, cross ice pass. LaBeouf was behind Haggerty. Sent back the other way. Beamish into the zone, taps it deep. LaBeouf. Pressure comes from Barry. Beamish overskates for a second, then gets knocked down by Leonard. LaBeouf puts his man into the wall. Mosey shoots it wide from a tight angle. Comes all the way free to the far point. Kirk can't keep it in the zone. Haggerty trying to jump on it. Does get to the puck. Haggerty walking in on the backhand. Puts it off the pad. Comes free to the near corner. Moved out to center. Bouncing puck knocked down by Dolan. Stick handles it free. Shoots it off the far boards. Helped back along by Simpson. And the Big Green get it deep. Chris Bradley nearly runs into Brian Hicks and does get the puck deep. They wave off the icing. Moves to the near corner. Flipped out to center. Bradley goes down with the gloves to knock it free. Kicked back into the zone by Crema. Had to wait for O'Brien to get back on side, and now Dolan will skate down the right side of the ice. Left side for La Liberté. Drop it back. Dolan, wrister. That one was headed wide all the way. Tapped out in front. Neal trying to get a stick on it. It's between his legs. Pinned up against the post is Kruger, and he'll cover up.
Yeah, Kruger did a good job keeping his pad against the post and keeping the puck out of the net. 18:47 left to play in the third. RPI nursing the 2-1 lead over Dartmouth. Shots 18-16 in favor of the Big Green.
Face-off coming to the left of Kruger. Tossed from the dot is Nick Bly. So it'll be Brad Sherhorn, the sophomore out of Anchorage, Alaska, to take the face-off with Bubella. One back to Bokenfor. Just slams it into the corner. Comes free behind the net. To the far side. Flipped out to center. Hits off the leg of one of the linesmen. Carried into the zone. Opperman stops at the point. Trying to get free. Takes a wrister. That one saved by Diebold. He caught it up around his neck area. He's able to hold on.
18:29 left to play in the third. 2-1 RPI over Dartmouth. Of course, minor screen. Diebold was able to see the puck all the way and hold on to prevent the rebound. So RPI, that's another shot for Dartmouth. 19-16 shots now, but RPI winning where it counts, and that's on the scoreboard.
Face off to the right of Scott Diebold. Push to the far wall. Shearhorn working it down low. LaBeouf ties up Opperman. Still Grant Opperman. Now it comes free to LaBeouf. Feeds it to the middle of the ice for Mark Tenorti, or Matt Tenorti, rather. Father Mark played in the NHL for a number of franchises, including my Minnesota North Stars. Shearhorn moves it out to center. Spinning around in that center circle is Opperman. Avoids the check, but in doing so lost the puck. Leonard picks it up. Flings it off the backboard for Guy LaBeouf. LaBeouf off the wall. Backtracking with Tenorti and try and claim it. There's a giveaway by Dempsey. Leonard will spin back to his own zone. Create some more space. LaBeouf, far side circle of his own end. He spins away from forecheck pressure. That's Dempsey. Now Dempsey takes it away, and I believe he was offside. No, whistle.
Going to get a penalty.
It's going to be a slash. You're right.
It's going to be a slash on Dempsey, which enabled him to break free and get the puck. So RPI will go on a power play. So to see if they can get a third goal. 17:34 left to play in the third. 2-1 RPI over Dartmouth. Dempsey going into the penalty box on a slashing call.
That's a tough call for me. I thought Dempsey did a good job of picking the pocket of LaBeouf there. But either way, RPI gets their second power play of the game. They had the first power play way back in the first period. Had 2 shots on it. Zaleski. High slot area. Now far side for Neal. Down low for the Liberté. Far side corner. Back to the high slot. Zaleski throws it towards the net. Was blocked by Mosey. Zaleski trying to find the puck. He finally does. He's back out to center with it. Taken over by Barry. Now 2 defensemen back, or 2 forwards rather, back on defense for RPI, but doesn't matter. Dartmouth will shoot the puck back out to center, and they'll rag the puck a bit here at center. Scooped in by Bolt. Picked up by the Engineers once again, and they'll start out to center. Zaleski spinning around back to his own zone. And you go back all the way behind the net to start the breakout. Pressure comes quickly from O'Brien. RPI will start it out near side. Minute 13 to go on the power play. Stick handling center ice, connects to the line for Haggerty. Near side point. Trying to put it through his own legs, trying to get free. He was knocked off the puck by Simpson and cleared all the way down. Diebold will claim it there behind his own net. More pressure from O'Brien. Diebold will play it off the far boards, where it's picked up by Neal. Touches it through his own legs. It's Matt Neal, the junior. Hands it off to Zaleski. Zaleski through center. Feeding it to the near boards for Higgs. Trying to get it deep. Fanned on the play, and it's shot down again by Dartmouth. That time it was Simpson. Power play hasn't really got started yet. Only 40 seconds left on it. As the Engineers once again will start from behind. Scott Diebold. Chris Bradley down the middle of the ice. Works his way near side. Drop it back to Leonard into the zone far side. Tenorti at the wall. Lost the puck. Tapped deep. Ferguson's there. Trying to clear, and he shoots it out of the ice surface. See if that touched anybody. They're going to say
it did not.
No.
So the faceoff is going to come in the Dartmouth zone. Although the linesman's trying to say it did. So we're going to get a discussion. And the decision was, I'm the referee. I said it didn't touch anybody. Face off in the Dartmouth zone. 15:55 left to play in the third. 2-1 RPI over Dartmouth.
Face off back to the high slot for Bradley. Bradley touch pass over to the near side for Wood. Wood down low. Spinning in front. DeVito. Great moves. Puck still loose. Now it's covered up by Kruger, who lost his stick, but he keeps the puck out of the net. That was a nifty move by the freshman Jimmy DeVito to spin out in front of the net and get a shot away.
Yeah, and Jake Wood almost put home the rebound as the puck was just laying on the red line. I think the referee thought Kruger had it, but he did not. So a little beneficial whistle for Kruger. 15:42 left to play in the third. 2-1 RPI and Dartmouth.
Face-off, puck to go behind the net, and it'll be cleared out to center. Shot deep by Mosey. Bo Dolan behind his own net with pressure from Mosey. Mosey will backhand it deep. Bradley's there. 5 aside as Dartmouth kills off the penalty. Chris Bradley backhands it up the far boards, takes a hop out to center where it's controlled by Simpson. Simpson shoots it in for Dartmouth, stopped behind by Diebold. Kick to himself, it's Dolan. DeVito. Cross ice pass connects to Bradley. He'll cross the center ice line and dump it in. Kruger stops it there. Shot near side. And that one will leave the ice surface as well. It came off the stick of Bullock. May have been deflected by Miller. And they'll say it did. Faceoff will come outside the Dartmouth zone.
14:49 left to play in the third. 2-1 RPI over Dartmouth. Shots 20-17 in favor of the Big Green. But RPI very nearly getting the third goal.
Faceoff spun back around in their own end. Dartmouth shoots it ahead. Lovejoy knocked down at center by Karate and back into Big Green territory. Miller trying to skate it down. Behind the net. Still Miller. Worked free for Opperman. Now Miller goes and ties him up. Back behind the net again. Schrader. Nice move to get free. Centering pass. One-timer Miller. Pad save by Kruger. Opperman now to center ice. Pass was behind Bly. Engineers turn it right back around. Miller, top of the far circle. Stops there. Centering pass hit off of Schrader. Looking for the one-timer. I think that puck was up in the air. Move towards the half boards, and now skating out to center is Opperman. Opperman on the move. Far side for Ferguson. Has the Dartmouth goal. He'll flip it towards the net. It's blocked away by Diebold. That one will leave the ice surface. We'll get another stoppage here. 13:56 to go in the third period. RPI still with a 2-1 lead.
I think Miller would have liked to have that back, as he didn't get all of it. He was there, but the puck just went off the fat part of his stick. I think he wanted to go opposite corner opposite post rather, as he had that wide open, but instead went right into Kruger. 13:56 left to play in the regulation. 2-1 RPI over Dartmouth.
Face-off pushed ahead by Haggerty all the way out to center, but the Big Green take over. Higgs throws a hit into O'Brien, who heads to the bench. Looked like he caught one in the ribs maybe. Very awkward looking hit there on O'Brien. Engineers back the other direction. Too far out in front of Haggerty. Shot off the far boards. In the legs of, between the legs of Zaleski. He's kicking at it. Comes free to Barry. Barry takes a shot. Deflects up into the netting. And we'll have a face-off coming in the RPI zone.
In Hanover, Dartmouth has taken a 2-1 lead over the RPI women. That 13-16 into the third period, so about 7 minutes left to go in that one. And Dartmouth has a 2-1 lead over the Engineers in women's hockey.
Face off to Diebold's right. Push back to the point, controlled there by Kirk. Pressure comes quickly from DeVito, just gets the pass away, up the wall, and it'll carry him into the corner. LaBeouf has Mosey pinned against the boards. Mosey gets free. Knocked loose. LaBeouf lost track of it. Picks it back up again and taps it behind his own net for Leonard. Leonard with pressure, trying to get it loose. Beamish steals the play. Thrown in front, and Barry's backhander is stopped by Diebold. Puck goes behind the cage. A couple players go down. Now it's underneath Leonard and Beamish. They both get up. Beamish comes away with a puck. To the point for Simpson. Faked a shot. Now does shoot it. Hit Tenorti. Far point. Shot. That one gets all the way through to the pad of Diebold. He kicks it into the near point area. Now out to center. Dumped in deep by DeVito. RPI will change all 5. Under 13 to go in the third. Skating far side is Mosey. Gets rubbed off the play by Rogic. Puck bounces into RPI territory, controlled by Bradley. Bradley to La Liberté. La Liberté near side for Bubella. Race for the puck, and they wave off the icing at the last minute there. Bubella now tied up with Lovejoy. Puck loose. Engineers looking for an interference call as puck was a little bit away from the two of them. Now centering past Neal. Shot to goal! Great play off the wall. Bubella finds Neal out alone in front of the net, and he stuck it right past Kruger, make it 3-1.
Yeah, Bubella was actually wanting the interference call. He was looking back at the referee saying, hey, where's my call? And Dartmouth, the players just sort of just stopped. So Bubella was just sort of like, okay, if you don't want the puck, I'll grab it. He picked up the puck, found Matt Neal skating out alone, and Neal just puts it in the back of the net. 12-12 left to play in the third. 3-1 RPI over Dartmouth.
10th goal of the year for the junior Matt Neal. Assist to Bubella. That's his fourth, second point of the game for Milos Bubella. And RPI has that all-important 2-goal lead here. As they'll move it from behind their own net. Bradley off the glass, out to center. Shot back in by the Big Green. Flipped around by Diebold towards the half boards. Shot all the way through, picked up far point. One-timer coming, that one's blocked. And comes skipping right through between the hash marks there, but it'll be knocked out to center. Now a chance for Schrader. One-on-one. He moves in on the backhand, runs right into the netminder. Now we're going to have some pushing and shoving here. It shouldn't be too much. There's not much Schrader could do. He was upended and taken into the goaltender. Kruger looks to be fine. He's up on his feet immediately. We'll see what the call is going to be. It looks like it should be on Dartmouth here for taking Schrader into the goal.
I think, though, it might be he pointed with each hand, so it looks like it might be Schrader going too. And it is. It's actually just going to be Schrader. I don't agree with this at all. I agree there should be one on Schrader in the box for a goaltender interference, but there wasn't much Schrader could do about it. It was just one of those calls that, you have to take it with it, even though it wasn't your fault. I think Josh Hartley should have went in with Schrader with him on a hooking call. But instead we're going to get a charge just on Zach Schrader. But in my opinion, Hartley should be in there with him.
On second look, I guess my opinion changes just a bit to what the referees called. It looked like Schrader had control of his skates when he went into the net. I didn't see it originally from my angle up here. It looked like you're right. It looked like Hartley got him, but second time through, looking the shot from right behind him, it looked like Schrader maybe could have changed directions, although he was trying to go to the net, so I'll give him credit for that. Either way, Engineers on the kill, and the centering pass is intercepted by Zaleski. Stick handled all the way free, and still Zaleski on the move. Mike Zaleski, stick handling all the way through, almost got by Brandon Kirk. Nearly a highlight reel material type play there. He shot in, picked up by the Engineers, trying to clear. They get it out to center. Kirk's there, shielding it away from Higgs. He'll slam it right back in. Picked up near side, chopped at by LaBeouf, picked up behind the net by Leonard. He'll stick handle to get free. Firing it far side for Neal. Neal will work it along shorthanded, all by himself. Now Rogic comes into the play. Poked at by Rogic, you get it deep. 10:45 to go, third period. Minute or so to go on the Schrader penalty for charging the goaltender. Fourth power play chance of the game for Dartmouth. Loose far side of the RPI zone. Opperman, good stick handle for a second to keep the play alive. Now Mosey flings it back to the point, and now we get a whistle here and a penalty off the puck. It's going to be a slash, and that'll negate the final 50 seconds of the Schrader penalty with 10:29 to go in the third.
RPI continues to lead 3-1 on the third goal was Matt Neal, his 10th of the season, on assist from Milos Bubella at 7:48 left of the third to give RPI the 3-1 lead, and this is going to be Grant Opperman going into the box for a slashing call. So Dartmouth is now 0 for 4 on the power play. and RPI will have a minute and 10 seconds of power play time when Schrader comes out of the box.
4-on-4 hockey for 50 seconds. Engineers win the offensive zone draw. Feed it to the near point for Bradley. A slapper that goes high and wide. He'll skip all the way out of the zone and all the way down the ice. Into the RPI end behind the cage. Puck comes free down the middle, and the Engineers are lucky there as neither Bolt nor Hartley were waiting for it. Would have had a clear try as Engineers were pinched pretty deep into their own zone. Puck goes behind the net. RPI side now to the point. Hartley, a wrist shot. That one's blocked by Wood. Tried to find it. Hartley picks it up. Below the dots near side. Hartley will spin back towards the point. Hand it off to Beamish. Glove down in the circle. That's Simpson. Schrader about to leave the box. Puck's behind the RPI goal. Leonard has it now. An RPI power play for roughly a minute 10. As Haggerty will start things up. He thought he was leaving it for someone. He is. Zaleski comes right off the bench to pick it up, and RPI will start its power play, an abbreviated one. Zaleski into the zone, backhands it off the wall. He'll chase it down himself. Zaleski centering pass, comes back to Haggerty. A wrist shot and a whistle. Maybe a man in the crease. Nets off. That's what caused the whistle, and we'll have a face-off coming, I believe, in the zone. 45 seconds to go on the RPI power play. They have a 3-1 lead. 9:14 to go in the third period.
The referee's going to say the net was off. It sounded like he said the face-off was going to be out of the zone as Matt Neal knocked it off, but doesn't appear that's the case. 9:14 left to play in the third. 3-1 RPI over Dartmouth.
Face-off coming here to the left of James Kruger. One back into the corner. Flipped around to the near side and shot all the way down by Kyle Nickerson. Puck goes behind the RPI net. Engineers have it. It will be Zaleski to start things out once again. Drops it back for Neal. Neal fires it far side into the zone for the Liberté. A saucer pass near side. Haggerty lost it for a second. Fires it right back to the far side. Trying to glove it was the Liberté. Gets it on the carom off the wall. He ties up now. Shot back to the middle of the ice for Haggerty. All alone. A shot, and he ramped it up over the stick. May have hit off Simpson. Haggerty had some time, walked right in, and Simpson just got in the way of it. Centering pass, looking in front, off the skate of Haggerty. Throws it right back, and now it'll be intercepted. And Beamish will send it back, back the other way. Now right out of the box. Opperman on the breakaway. Shot and a goal.
Yeah, that was... nobody was paying attention to Opperman coming out of the box except for D-Bulls. He was banging his stick saying, hey guys, you got to get back and play defense. So RPI not aware that the penalty was expiring. Opperman came right out of the box and put a nice move on D-Bold and to make it 3-2. RPI, 8:21 left to play in the third. RPI with a 1-goal lead.
Breakaway goal that time for Grant Opperman. His fourth goal of the season. And it's a 1-goal game once again, 3-2. RPI, 8:21 on the clock, 5 aside. There's an even strength goal. Of course, Opperman just coming out of the box. Now McNally walking in, a shot saved by Diebold. Loose in the circle. Engineers trying to move it out of the zone, and they do so. Miller doing the duty there. Into Dartmouth territory. They wave off the icing. It's flipped to the far side. McNally has it come off his stick. Schrader back to the point. Dolan, stick handling, flips it off the far boards, where it's controlled by Brandon McNally. McNally just gets around Schrader into the zone. Poked at by Bradley. McNally to the point. Wrist shot goes way wide from Lovejoy. Side of the cage, goes behind the net. Wraparound try. Puck bounces in the air. Finally gloved down by Rogic, who skates it out to safety. Center ice, lost the puck, picked up by Bolt. Far side RPI zone. Stopping over there is Crema. Crema's tied up by Bradley. Liberté picks it away. He can't get it out of the zone. Crema backhands it deep. First one there's Dolan. Takes a big hit into the boards. Dolan slow to get up. Picked up far point. Shot high over the top. Dolan skating now. He looked like he might have hit his head on the wall there. Engineers get it all the way back down the other way. controlled by the Big Green, however. Outlet pass doesn't connect. Picked up by Leonard for RPI. Shoots it right back in. Stop behind the cage by Kruger. The Dartmouth netminder leaves it for a teammate. RPI, some good forecheck pressure. Big collision there as Miller ran into Bly. The fans like it. Engineers get it right back deep again. 6:45 to go, third period. Still a one-goal game. Engineers on top 3-2. Outlet pass connects to Bly. Onto the tape of Shearhorn. Pass was behind Opperman, and the Engineers will try and turn things around quickly. They dump it deep. That's Schrader. First one to get it's going to be Kirk for Dartmouth. He takes a hit from Wood. Avoided most of it. And now Shearhorn to center for Simpson. Lost the handle on the puck for a second, battling with Bokenfour at the blue line. Chopped back out to center by DeVito. And now Rogic gloves it to himself. Rogic into the zone. Pass behind to Nordy. Sent back out to center where the Engineers control again. It's Bokenfour. Bokenfour through Rogic. All the way down the ice. They wave off the icing again. Kruger plays it far side. Good play by DeVito to pick the pocket of Simpson. Far side boards. Beamish taken over by Tenorti. Working it down low. DeVito kicks it to himself. Pinching up the wall is Bokenfour. Keeps the play alive in the zone. Down low for Zaleski. Has a man in front of DeVito trying to find him. Good defensive play there. Kirk just sat down and broke up the centering pass. Now Beamish back the other way. 2-on-3 to the RPI line. Beamish trying to get around Bokenfour. They both go down. Puck goes free to the corner. It eludes Karate. Picked up by Zaleski. Backhanded ahead. Here comes Bokenfour on the move. Stops at center ice. Lost it to Barry. Still fights for it, however. Now it's Zaleski trying to dig it free from Mosey. They still battle on the stick check, stick battle, and now it's flipped back to center. Lovejoy has it for Dartmouth. Approaching 5 minutes to go in the third period. Engineers with a 3-2 lead. Lovejoy to center. Dumps it in. Deadens below the RPI goal line. It's swatted behind the net to the near side. Bokenfour a bit slow to get up there. Now he's back to his feet. Karate has it. Shooting it off the near board softly for Higgs. Nice pass from Karate. Higgs' shot deflects into the netting. He'll get a stoppage here. 4:49 on the clock. It's still 3-2 Engineers.
Yeah, nice pass from Karate to Higgs. We'd like to remind you are listening to 91.5 FM WRPI Troy. Coverage of RPI men's hockey here from the Houston Fieldhouse as RPI takes on Dartmouth Big Green. RPI leads 3-2. Ed DeGarren and Perry Lascaris on the call for you.
Face off in the Dartmouth zone. Kept alive by the Engineers. They get it deep again. Loose at the side of the cage, and it'll be covered up by Kruger.
4:32 left to play in the third. RPI leads Dartmouth 3-2 as the puck was sort of, as Perry said, loose there in the whistle as no team really can control it. Came in on Kruger, and Kruger just held it for the face-off.
Face-off won by the Big Green. They'll go behind their own net with it. Here's O'Brien to center, too far for everyone. Chopped right back the other way by Leonard. First one to it is Kirk. He'll backhand it behind his own net. And now moved out to center ice. McNally on the carry. Tries to get around Leonard. Flings it deep, and he goes shoulder to shoulder with Bubella. Bubella comes away with the puck. Milos Bubella on the move, has a goal and an assist today. Still Bubella, still stick handling. RPL change 4 behind him. Just runs shoulder to shoulder there with O'Brien, and the Engineers turn him over. Shot by Schrader, deflected out in front. And it goes behind the cage. Starting things up from behind the net, it is Brandon Kirk. Flings it far side for his defensive partner, Andy Simpson. All the way down it goes on goal. Stopped by Diebold. Bradley up the near boards. Off the skate of Miller. He'll try and track it down. Gets hit by Lovejoy. Does get it deep. Ferguson to the line. Kept in by Schrader. Still Schrader battling for it there. Good poke by Ferguson. Get it free for a second. Schrader cycles for Miller. Miller's tied up now by Lovejoy. Schrader comes to pick it away. Schrader down low for Miller. Miller backhands it deep. Wood is there. Wood for Schrader. Passes it through his own legs to Miller. Centering pass looking for Wood. He was tied up. Comes free to Bradley, who just chops it right back down low. Wood looking out of the corner, has Schrader in the middle. He'll hold on to it, play it back to the point for Dolan. Slapper broke his stick. Puck comes to the near corner. LaBeouf behind the net. 2:50 to go in the third. 3-2. The Engineers holding on to a 1-goal lead. Pinching up the wall is Leonard. Swats it towards the net. Knocked down by Ferguson. He will carry. Can't get it out of the zone. Kept in by Tenorti. Puck now chipped out to center. We get a whistle here. I believe a hand pass, maybe. Looks like they caught the Big Green with the infraction.
2:34 left to play in the third. RPI leads Dartmouth 3-2. Actually, it looks like they got all sides against
offside,
RPI
yeah.
as the puck is coming out of the zone. So,
face-off win for the Big Green center ice. Get it ahead to Barry. He gets it deep. Leonard backhands it up the far boards for DeVito. 3 Dartmouth players over there, including Mosey, who appears to have come away with a puck, and now he's tied up with Leonard. Mosey holding it, top of the circle. Still pressure from Leonard, gets it deep. LaBeouf will skate down the puck in the near corner of his own zone. Trying to get it out towards the point, kept in. Puck will trickle behind the RPI goal again. Leonard taps it near side for LaBeouf. He's pressured by 2 Big Green. Puck comes free to the Mosey. A shot saved by Diebold. Got in on him a little bit, but he's able to make the save. This will be scooped out to center. Stays in the rink. Now Leonard will softly chip it off the boards into Dartmouth territory. Minute 44 to go. We'll keep an eye on Kruger as the Big Green skated in his Bly. Top of the circle. Shot, pad save. Rebound kicked out to the point. Kept in at the far point there by Opperman. Tie up along the far side boards. Zaleski fed it out in front to Simpson. The shot goes wide. Zaleski nearly set up a goal there for the other team. Puck behind the net. Dolan chopping it far side. 1:20 to go. Still in the net is Kruger. Now he starts to come off. Tie up in the far corner of the RPI zone, and we're going to get a whistle here. And a face-off, I believe, will stay in the zone. Minute 13. I thought they'd pulled Kruger a little earlier than that. They had pressure in the zone, but never did it.
yeah, I thought there was about 1:40 left on the clock. Dartmouth had a good, solid possession in the RPI zone, working it deep. Kruger should have been off the ice at that point as the puck was deep behind Diebold in the RPI net. So wasting valuable almost 30 seconds there was Dartmouth, and now the face-off is going to be in the RPI zone. We're going to get a Dartmouth timeout to draw up a play with Kruger on the bench, and Seth Eppert is going to get a chance to counter. So a really important face-off, if there ever was an important face-off. This is a big one for the Engineers to win. If they want to try to get it out of the zone and take a shot on the empty net with 1:13 left to play in the third period.
Yep. Solid game here. Pretty much what we expected, a close one. This Dartmouth team has been playing much better as of late. And talking to some of their staff and folks here before the game, they've been playing some real tight games. You can even go back to last Saturday, a 1-1 tie with Cornell, who's also playing some pretty good hockey. So, as is the case, a lot of times you look at January, February, teams start to really become who they're going to be at the end of the year. And so, not surprised that most ECAC hockey teams, and what has been really over the last couple of years, the strongest league as a whole in college hockey, teams are shaping up to be pretty tough outs and pretty tough to get a win, get the full 2 points. Yeah,
and, final score in Hanover was 2-1 Dartmouth over the women. So a close game there as well. So everywhere is going to be a close game.
Face-off won by the Big Green to the far point. Up top, a slapper. That one goes wide. Rebound slammed off the side of the net on the try there by Bullock, and now the net comes off the pegs. Diebold arguing it should be out of the zone. I think they're going to get the draw outside the RPI end. So that's a big break for RPI there.
Yeah, it's going to come out of the zone as a Dartmouth player knocked the puck, knocked the net off the post. And a big break for RPI. Nice awareness by Diebold saying, hey, I didn't do it, but Kruger's going to come out to in between the face-off circles.
Well, they got to pick. If they want 6 skaters or the goalie, they can't have both. Now Shearhorn's going to come off. I'm surprised they don't leave him pulled here, but...
And I was going to come farther out to the bench.
Now Dartmouth wins the draw. Quickly to the bench goes Kruger, and now they get it deep. Bradley, behind his own net, has it pinned up against the back wall. Under a minute to go in a 3-2 game. Lost along the far side by Opperman. They tie up in the corner, far side. Behind the net it goes for Beamish. He'll help it back to the point. Bullock, slapper. That one's deflected, goes wide off the stick of Shearhorn. Shearhorn gets back on it in the corner, towards the point. Bullock keeps it alive in the slot, turning. Fanning was Beamish. Tap to the far side post. A shot. That one goes wide in the try by Opperman. Now near point. That one's deflected by Shearhorn wide. 30 seconds to go. Dartmouth still on the pressure. Leonard puts his man into the wall. Opperman back to the point. Holding it there. Hartley's shot deflects into the near corner. First one there is the Engineer, and he clears it all the way down. Will it be icing? No, it deflected. No, it will be icing. Excuse me. I thought they waved it off. They did not. I believe that was Higgs who did the clearing, and but he shot it all the way down the ice. 15.1 seconds remain. Face off back to the RPI end.
I think Leonard made a little mistake. He tied it up in the corner instead of just taking it and pushing it out of the zone and taking a big slap shot. That's what RPI has to do. They can't play. They can't be pretty with the puck. They just got to take it and slap it out of the zone. They're up by one goal, 15.1 seconds remaining in the third period, and right now they just got to play smart and play like they've been playing hockey like they're 5 years old. They're not like it's a new sport to them. So they put 0.3 of a second back on the clock, so 16 seconds now on the clock for Dartmouth to try to get this tying goal.
16 on the clock. Shots 27-21 Dartmouth. Now Zaleski gets tossed from the face-off dot for Higgs. Push back, intercepted. Zaleski backhands it out to center. He's going to get there. Looking for that empty net goal. It's going to go wide with 7 seconds, and we get a whistle.
We're going to get a penalty. I believe we're going to get a penalty on Dartmouth. So
now, if this is a penalty shot, they'll award the goal. No, it's not a penalty shot.
As the puck was trickling in, and this is going to be a penalty on Dartmouth with 5.7 seconds to go in the regulation time, as Zaleski was trying to get the empty net goal. And right now they're discussing. Both referees are over there discussing.
Yeah, if they award a penalty shot here, then it's a goal because it was an empty net. They are, I believe.
No, they're pointing to the face-off going to come center ice. That's what he was pointing at.
No, they're going to award the goal, I think.
Well, the linesman's there like he's going to drop a puck, so nobody's...
Well, Beamish is out of the box.
Oh, okay.
It is a goal.
It is a goal. So a goal for Mike Zaleski.
And that's the second time I've seen it this year. Not in the college hockey game. We'll talk about it later. But if there is a penalty shot given when the team has an empty net, it's a goal. And that's why Zaleski's credited with the goal, his fourth of the year. Face-off center ice. RPI with a 4-2 lead without putting the puck in the net. And now we get a whistle. That one leaves the ice surface with 0.6 seconds.
Now we're going to get a penalty. We're going to get another penalty. This time it's going to be on...
Looks like DeVito?
DeVito. Elbow. Did they call an elbow or a slash?
I don't know.
So, it's slashing.
Won't matter in the grand scheme of things, even if this miraculously goes in off the face-off. The Engineers have that 2-goal lead here once again.
So I guess I should write that down for housekeeping purposes. So does that go in a 6-on-5 short-handed goal? Empty net for Zaleski or no?
There's the final horn, a 4-2 victory for RPI, back on the win column for the Engineers. And no, that would be an even strength
empty
goal.
Empty
net goal.
Okay,
yep.
That's correct.
It'll look like 4-2 on the scoreboard. This is a very close game against two teams that are trying to get back on track, and the Engineers will take a victory into tomorrow night's non-conference game against Union, and more importantly, 2 points in the standings. That depending on how Yale fares this evening, RPI can jump to as high as 6th in the ECAC, and that's an improvement upon their situation when the night started, of course.
So let's run down some scoring for you. Throughout the league, because RPI takes a 4-2 win here, they get 2 points. So we'll keep you in suspense and give you the Yale score last. So in Schenectady, it's 4-3 Union over Harvard. That's late in the third period. St. Lawrence and Cornell tied at 4, starting overtime. It's 3-2 Colgate over Clarkson in Hamilton. Here it was RPI 4, Dartmouth 2. And then in Providence, Rhode Island, it's Brown 3, Yale 1. So RPI will presumably leapfrog Yale. That's late in the third period as well. So if that score holds, RPI will presumably leapfrog Yale. And going into a big game tomorrow night, of course, non-league game against Union at the Times Union Center. But I think, regardless of the outcome of that one, RPI would rather take home this victory and get the league points. So 4-2 victory over Dartmouth. Good quality game for RPI. A nice solid game by Scott Diebold as well in net. And a good foundation for the ECAC for the rest of the way for RPI, and try to move up the standings much like they did at the second half of last year to earn second place in the ECAC.
Exactly. Ed, I'll run down the scoring as Ed will come up with his offensive and defensive engineers of the game. RPI got the scoring started at 45 seconds of that second period. Ryan Haggerty scoring his 19th of the year from Brock Higgs and Curtis Leonard. Engineers made it 2-0 at 14:07. Milos Wabella scoring, third of the year from La Liberté and Haggerty. Jeff Ferguson got Dartmouth on the board, 17-13 of the second to make it 2-1. An early third period goal, 7:48 of the third. Matt Neal from Milos Wabella made it 3-1. Then Opperman cut it to 3-2 with a breakaway goal coming right out of the box to score, to make it 3-2. Assist to Connor Dempsey. Engineers capped the scoring. An empty net goal was awarded to Mike Zaleski, his fourth of the year, unassisted. 1954 the time of that goal. Didn't even have to put it in the net. He would have been awarded a penalty shot. There was no goalie. You get the goal.
So that's a good game all around by RPI. I think offensively, my offensive engineer of the game, I'm going to give it to Milos Wabella only because of the result of the goal and the assist tonight. Good overall solid play, but honorable mention goes to Mike Zaleski, Ryan Haggerty, Brock Higgs, the whole supporting cast of characters. RPI finding their offense at an opportune time when they needed to. 11 points on the season, and a good solid outing offensively for the Engineers all around. Defensively, I'm actually going to give it to Craig Bokenfor. I thought he played solidly on the blue line. He played smart. Didn't call his name all that much, which is good if you're a defenseman because it means you're not making mistakes. So a good, solid, all-around job by him. He got the puck out of the zone when he needed to, starting plays to give that vaunted offense a chance to score goals. So in only his second appearance so far of the season, a good, solid outing. Coach Abbott said he did really good in practice, and he's been slightly improving finally earning some playing time and proving it on the ice how solidly he can be for the Engineers. So Wabella and Bokenfor, a pair of Bs on the ice for the Engineers, get the offensive and defensive engineers of the game respectively. And I got to also give credit to Scott Diebold. Made a few quality saves, especially in that last minute of the game for RPI to keep the game 3-2 at that point before Zaleski scored the short-handed goal on the penalty shot. So good job by him as well. That will do it for us here at the Catwalk. Final score. Before we get off the air, we'd like to say a few thank yous. First, we'd like to thank the RPI Union, the Rensselaer Union, which provides the funding for WRPI and all club-related activity of the Institute, including WRPI's coverage of men's and women's ice hockey, football, and baseball. Also, a reminder, WRPI is on the World Wide Web. Point your browser to www.wrpi.org. And you can hear our broadcast 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So long as WRPI is broadcasting, we will provide the broadcast on our internet feed. Once again, that is www.wrpi.org. We'd also like to thank back at the studio DJ Scooter for getting us on the air and making sure that we stayed out on the air. And we'd also like to thank Ryan Clark in the first period. He kept score for us, then he had to leave. He had a function to attend to. But he was here for the first period, keeping score for us. Not much to do as far as keeping score-wise in the first period, but he was here. He gets a thank you, so thank you to Ryan Clark. That will do it for us at the catwalk. Final score here was RPI 4, Dartmouth 2. He's Perry Lascaris. I'm Ed DeGarry, and you've been listening to live coverage of Engineer Hockey on 91.5 FM, WRPI Troy.